Okay, please. Hopefully everything works because in a cruel twist of irony, I got this has never happened before tech issues.
Imagine.
Imagine. Um and it looks like we're good at the moment
All
at
right,
least.
that's
Okay.
this is great.
Yeah, that was a fun like 45 minutes of what the hell is OBS even thinking right now, but yep, I just had to change everything ever and then my stream started working. Thanks Twitch.
What happens when you put me in front of the camera instead of working tech behind the scenes?
Yeah, well,
Your tech
I
just
yeah, again, in the twist of irony, if this was gonna happen to me, having you already in the call was like really funny that that managed to happen. Anyway, why is that funny? Who are you?
yeah. Well, why is that funny?
Yeah.
So yeah, hello everybody. My name is Richard or ogNdrahciR. If anyone ever hosts in the future, it's pronounced ogNdrahciR. ogNdrahciR.
Mm,
It's right there. It is Richard Ngo backwards. It just happens to be my name, forwards and backwards. Richard Ngo, ogNdrahciR. That's all you need to know.
mm-hmm. But why is it funny?
Why is it funny?
That.
Because I am, in fact, someone that works on tech for various people's streams,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes including the Games Done Quick stream, sometimes being tech support for people like Spike Vegeta or other people. And, I'm glad we can get your stream up and running today, too, GTAs.
Yes, it is successful right now, but given some things I've been noticing before the stream starts, I'll have to go back in and fuck around some more and find
Yeah,
out.
we'll deal with that later.
But yeah, apparently Twitch changed the thing and it's like, well, now you don't get quality options and also everything has been reset. Have fun. So
Yeah,
that was
really the
fun.
worst part was everything getting reset.
Yeah.
We're just starting our discussion here, but I got to spend a good hour with GTAs already, so joke's on you, audience. I had a good
Yeah.
time. So.
Yeah, we got a whole hour of me losing my goddamn mind with seeing all of my hard work go to waste and shambles and not be able
Well,
to stream. So,
you know what's funny, actually? I was looking up your episode numbers. This is episode 180, and your OBS sure did a 180 on you. So
damn.
I think
Wow.
it's kind of your fault if you think about it. You're like, okay, we're 180 episodes through, and your OBS is like, I'm gonna turn that around on you.
Yep. Yeah. Just everything I guess worked out comedically so well, but was also so frustrating. But we're
And
here.
we made it through.
We made it to the end. Everything's fine. We can begin for real and be
Yes.
happy. So, um speaking of beginnings, we should start with your beginning in the
Yes.
speedrun scene.
Yeah, I pulled up some resources right here because I didn't want to get my dates wrong.
Mm.
So, uh, one of the funny things is, so I started following the GDQ account May 24th, 2012. Now,
Mm.
mind you, SGDQ hadn't started yet because it was in May and it was way past AGQ. So why did I randomly follow May 24th, 2012, you might ask? I have no clue.
Okay, cool.
Uh, be, because funny enough, I didn't actually start following GDQ until SGDQ 2014, which is 2 years after I followed the channel. So there must have been one speedrun at some point that I watched, I guess in 2012, um, where that prompted me to then follow the channel. Because I've had my Twitch account since it was a Justin TV account. So to go into my history of speedrunning, we had to dip into my history in StarCraft actually. So I started, following things near the end of Brood War in 2008, 2009. And then when StarCraft 2 came out in 2010, I started going to events for that as a volunteer, as just an attendee, things like that. And I had made a Justin.tv account where I had actually streamed some stuff on there. Very little, just from my college dorm. But all of that kind of transferred over when everything transferred over to Twitch. So I remember I actually had to fill out a form.
Hmm.
I don't know when you made your account, GTA's.
2017.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of history lesson here.
Mm.
And uh, interestingly enough, I had to fill out a form to basically say this is my Justin TV account, and they will port it over to Twitch, which was basically their gaming spin-off at the time
Hmm.
from Justin, which was just everything. But like there were so many StarCraft people on there that they transferred it over to Twitch. And what happened was uh, then I swapped my account over. So my account's been around since February 24th, 2011. And then I made that the follow in 2012 for GDQ.
Mm.
But it wasn't until uh, January of 2014 was my first actual uh, run in with speedrunners. Now, mind you, I still said SGDQ 2014 is when I first started watching, which is true. But as a member of the StarCraft community, I kept going to events from 2010 all the way up through this event in January 2014. And it happened to be DC LAN number 13. So, what date was that? That was January 11th of 2014. Now, if you have a keen eye, AGDQ 2014 was from January 4th to the 11th.
Hmm.
And so, how did I run in with speedrunners? Well, some people at the StarCraft tournament had also been going to AGDQ, and I was only there in the DC area for the StarCraft tournament. And as you do, customary to any event, speed running or otherwise that you go to, y'all get hungry and you want to eat some Korean barbecue. So
Mm.
actually, I have a question for you, GTAs. Do you like Korean barbecue?
I don't know if I've had Korean barbecue. It sounds good, but I don't think I've ever
Okay.
had it.
So yeah, I mean, it's basically, they bring a bunch of meat to you, you cook it on the little, stoves in front of you,
Mm.
and then you eat it. And I'm like, so someone asked me, "Hey, do you want to eat some Korean barbecue?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." Do you want to eat with speedrunners? I'm like, I don't really care that much, but sure, but sure. So,
The
um,
proper response, yes.
yeah.
Speedrunners.
So
Oh.
our land was on the 11th, which just so happened to be the finale day for that AGDQ. So after things wrapped up for both events, um, we at the StarCraft tournament meet up with a bunch of speedrunners
Yeah.
at the Korean barbecue place, and I end up having a good time because it's Korean barbecue.
Mhm.
I mostly hung out with the StarCraft people, but I'm like, oh, this speedrun thing's kind of cool. Like, I'll probably check it out the next time they have an event. And it was funny because my college friend Tommy, he was the one that actually kind of introduced me to watching a GDQ event. So we watched SGDQ 2014 of that year from the place that they were moving into. And so at that point, I'm like, damn, speedrunning's super cool. And so, one of the friends from that StarCraft tournament had mentioned, they were doing stuff with GDQ. And they were one of the previous managers at GDQ at this point. And so they're like, hey, do you want to go to AGQ 2015? I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll help out with that. And funny story about AGDQ 2015. So my first event ever, my first GDQ event I went to, AGDQ 2015, I had a staff badge.
Damn.
Now you might wonder why that happened. Well, they ran out of volunteer badges.
Oh, okay.
So they just didn't. There were no badge printers at the time. They had printed out, this is how many badges we have. So, and that's it. So,
So
so I ended up getting a
foreshadowing,
staff
subtle
badge. Yeah,
foreshadowing.
yeah, that was a very interesting twist of fate because I wish I had found that before coming on today. But yeah, my first badge ever at a GDQ event was a staff badge because they had run out of volunteer badges. So it was very funny at the time. I was there with two friends. We stayed off site, but yeah, I remember because one of them had a volunteer badge. one of them had a Nintendo badge, and then I had a staff badge. I remember we all like put our badges together. It was like, look at all the different cool badges there. Um, but yeah, those were back in the days of not having your names printed on it either. So it was just like
Mm.
one side was completely blank, so you wrote your name on the other side of the badge. Um, but yeah, so a little bit of my history is, after watching SGDQ 2014, I decided, okay, well, I'll go to this AGDQ thing, see what it's about. Mostly hang out with my friends, but that kind of like kicked off a lot of my greater interest in speedrunning. So you're known as a Super Mario Brothers runner, GTA's,
Uh-huh.
obviously. Did you know that my first run that I ever did was an NES game?
Well, no.
Yeah, so my first run ever was Mega Man 6. So
Oh, okay.
um, that was the one that I had as a kid. So I'm sure a bunch of people, you know, you feel closest to the games that you had when you were growing up. Um, so like people are like, oh yeah, Mega Man 2 is great. I'm like, Mega Man 2 sucks. Mega Man 6 is
Hey,
where
hey,
it's
okay,
at.
okay.
And so that was my first speedrun ever was Mega Man 6. And I
Well,
remember,
sorry, I have a funny story about Mega Man 6 real quick.
oh
That
yeah, hit
that
me.
was the first game I ever watched at a GDQ in person. SGDQ
Wait, really?
2018 Mega Man 6 race. Yep. It was that
Uh,
one. So,
oh,
it,
that's great.
it, everyone has their first when it comes to Mega Man 6 apparently. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know, uh being an avid fan of Mega Man 6, I remember at that AGDQ, I believe, was Ohan doing a run at that event. And I remember because one of my friends spoke Japanese, and I basically had that friend translate for me, like, hey, I know a little bit about Mega Man 6. Do you need anyone on commentary? And yeah, so I ended up getting that translation out and then getting that answer back of, yeah, sure, you can commentate. Uh, and I remember I heard this from Darkman a couple years later after I knew him a little bit more. He's like, who's this fucker showing up on the couch? I was like, well, I asked the runner. um, and so, yeah, so, that was kind of my first foray into speed running was, running that game and then trying to get involved a little bit more into the community. So, that leads up to 2015. This is the downfall of StarCraft, so to speak. So, when StarCraft 2 was at its peak, in the early 2010s, there were so many people playing it. And then as the expansions came out, people's interest waned a bit more. So that's when I started like speedrunning more. And I remember playing, Mega Man 6. I also remember there was a 2016 tournament for 46 Robot Masters. So that's all the Robot Masters in Mega Man 1 through 6. And I remember playing in that tournament too. And that was on Speed Gaming when there was a singular Speed Gaming channel. I don't
Mm.
know if you remember those days. But
I
a
no,
singular
there were
Speed Gaming
there were
channel.
multiple by the time I got involved. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, that was kind of the kickoff of me, getting to know more speedrunners and getting more involved in speedrunning events as a whole. You know, all of this was kind of while I was, going through slash wrapping up college and kind of just trying to figure out, well, what do I do with my free time? And I just was like, well, I'm just gonna grind these games a bit, play these games a bunch because I like playing them, and that's kind of where things kind of, I guess, ballooned from there in terms of my involvement in speedrunning. As 2016 happened, that Mega Man tournament, came about. I think a year or two later, there was the Mega Man 3 tournament, so I decided to learn the rest of that game, one of the good things about 46 Robot Masters is you learn the beginning parts of each game, so it makes picking up the whole game a lot easier. Um, so I remember doing that. Actually, I know this is supposed to be talking about me, but I'm gonna
Mm,
ask you a question, GTAs, if that's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, how many games have you learned partially through, and then you're like, then you come back, a while later, you're like, I'm gonna learn the whole thing, if any. Like, are there any games like that for you?
Uh, I think at this point, no.
Okay.
Like, I
Yeah.
I
So
haven't put a lot of time into full runs that I might have, like, practiced and learned, but
yeah.
I think I've done, at least, like, one full run of everything I've at least
Okay.
messed with at this point.
Okay. Yeah. So I was someone after that 46 Robot Master tournament. I feel like I tried a little bit of a lot of different games, just as test the waters, see if I liked it, see if I didn't like it. Because I remember I learned some Super Mario Sunshine.
Mm,
I got up to Yoshi Skip, and then I'm like, all right, let's screw this. Like,
fair, yeah.
that basically, I was like, okay, I think this is cool. I understood gelato skip. I understood like, oh, the movement in this game is very fun. And then I got to like the first hard skip, and I'm like, screw it. Let's see. There was that. There was Hat in Time. I tried that. I learned all of Mafia Town. Mafia Town, very fun part of Hat in Time. Gave that up. Uh, that was a little bit later because I think Hat in Time came out a little bit later. But doing that 46 Robot Master Tournament, I only learned parts of these different Mega Man games. I'm like, all right, I hate the ones without the slide. I like the slide. I like Mega Man 6 because I grew up with it. And then that's why I learned Mega Man 3 for that tournament. And Mega Man 3 is just a fun game, the first game that introduced the slide. I'm like, that's great. And then at some point in 2016, I discover Ori and the Blind Forest. So Ori and the Blind Forest is a game that I initially tried before the definitive edition came out. And again, there's a hard trick in that game. So if anyone knows Mega Man X's Iceless, the original Ori had a trick also called Iceless, also very difficult. Um, so funny thing is, I remember I tried for a whole day to get that trick, and I couldn't get it one time. And I'm like, all right, screw this game. Like, I'm done with it. And eventually, you know, months and months go by. A year later, the definitive edition comes out, and at some point, I remembered like following the game, still watching it. Um, and at some point, the game had changed so much that that was not a part of the run anymore. And I had decided, okay, I'm gonna pick up, the definitive edition now. And from there, I learned the full run of the definitive edition, and then that's kind of where I got involved more with some of like the production of the Ori tournaments. So as mentioned before, we did the Mega Man tournaments. Those were all on Speed Gaming. Have you taken part in any tournaments on Speed Gaming before
Yes, I've
GTA's?
done plenty. Granted,
Okay,
this was like 6 years ago, but yes.
sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you know how like Speed Gaming's usually the ones that are, like you have the tournament organizers within the community themselves, and then you have Speed Gaming who kind of like takes in the streams and then like actually
Mhm.
puts on the broadcast, right?
Yeah.
So for the Ori tournaments, uh, we had sort of grander plans, grander ideas for putting on those tournaments. And what ended up happening was like us as the community asking like, hey, can we just like get given, the stream keys to stream our tournaments on, and then have like a little bit like more production value on them? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like that's fine. As long as they're putting on a show, like you know, that's what they want is just to be able to put more runs on, right? So that's what we did. Was for our first couple tournaments, the first tournament in 2016 or 2017 was not that like big of a production. Um, but it was kind of us getting our feet wet, trying to understand, okay, like, this is what we kind of had to do for different layouts and like, what we want to showcase on stream, things like that. And then the next year, we had a little bit more grander ideas, grander plans where we would have, keep track of stats of like people doing their tricks, keep track of, all these other different things that, happen within the run. So, in terms of like some of the more difficult tricks in that game, we would keep track of like if you got a first try, if it took you like 3 tries, if it, however long it took. And then we would like, build out the tournament stats for each player so that like when you did, your first couple rounds, they would be within like a group. So like, the top people from each group would make it out or whatever, into the bracket. And from there, it was basically like, okay, so, after their groups, everyone has 3 matches. Like, you have a pretty good idea of, like, how well someone's doing in terms of their own practice and, how well they do with their tricks, like how consistent they are, things like that. And so I think that kind of made me more interested in, like, the broadcast production side of, like, oh, these are what you do in these tournaments. And these are the cool things that like you can show about people, especially when it's the same run. Um, when you're doing things in an Ori tournament, it's like, okay, these are things that the commentators can then pull from, so that you're not just commentating the exact same thing for the entire tournament. You can be like, this is this person's history throughout this tournament, and so that was really cool. And yeah, so within all of those Ori tournaments, I remember also in our 2018 tournament, um, something that was really cool was we had these little challenge coins made for everybody. So everyone got like a nice little Ori keepsake for the actual tournament if they participated. And we had like 70 people in that tournament. So it was
Jesus.
massive turnout, massive turnout for a tournament. It's it is not. It is a tall task organizing that many people into one tournament. Let me tell you.
Sounds like it would take
But
like a year to get through all the matches.
yeah, it was very laborious. I remember we were basically at that point, speed gaming had gone up to 4 channels, and we were basically permanently on speed gaming 4. They were like, "All right, yeah, just use 4 again."
Hmm.
We had most of our matches on speed gaming 3 and speed gaming 4. Um, and yeah, it was a ton of time to do all of that. Um, and I guess I will talk about. All right, actually, I'm gonna show. Give me 1 second.
All right. We need a visual.
I'm kind of an Ori fan. All right, I got
Oh
I
my
got some
god.
Oris. These are all plushies, by the way. I
Wonderful.
like them. I've just been staring at that for, you know, it's just been on my desk over there. I figured I'd show it. I like Ori a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Hmm.
Just a tiny bit. Those are all sealed plushies. I don't plan on opening any of them. I have an unsealed plushie over there, but at any rate, um, yeah. So we had these Ori coin. Oh, and you see an Ori poster right there. It actually fell off the wall 2 days ago. I need to actually fix well, I need to buy a replacement frame at some point. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I like Ori a little bit.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, we kept doing those tournaments. And we were like, okay, what can we do better? Like, what what are other things we could do? And so yeah, we just kept trying to improve those. Throughout that 2018 tournament, we also had I remember I had the dumbest idea. but it was basically like, so we did all of our tournament broadcasts. We had like an opening and a closing video for the tournament for each broadcast. Like the intro to a show. There's songs with like credits or whatever, and same with closing credits. So I remember in that tournament, uh, so for our finals, I remember making two credits videos, one of the players winning the tournament and one of the other person winning the tournament. And I remember having to hastily, uh, you know, grab some replays of like some of the moments from like games 1 and 2 from that finals and putting them in to the video for when the winner was announced for the tournament,
Hmm.
and having to like do a very jank, like you know basically putting those replays into that credits video of like here's all the names of the players of the tournament going through the credits with different highlights from the tournament, and then the last thing was like, okay, this is second place and this is first place, and it was a fun, stressful but exciting mess
Hmm.
um, put on.
But you put up the right video.
Yeah.
Because
So we had two different videos of like this is what happens when person A wins and this is what happens when person B wins. And then also have to like overlay the replay of the game 1 or game 2 exciting moment that we had. It wa- it was a lot of stuff to juggle all at once, but yeah, I mean we ended up doing it, and yeah, so that was our 2018 tournament that we had. Um, and I guess that kind of brings me back to some of my involvement with GDQ. So I've been a volunteer at GDQ events again since AGDQ 2015. So over those last few years, it was all just like me volunteering, doing like whatever they needed people to do.
Mhm.
Um, and then at some point, I remember I was asked to take some photos, and I'm like, well, I don't know anything about taking pictures, but I'll help. Um, so I guess just to reel it back in a little bit more. So some of my background is in high school, I did TV productions, and I thought it was super cool. And then I was forced by my family to learn software engineering for college, which I hate.
Mm.
Having to work with computers all the time and programming, which one I'm not that great at, and then two, it's not as fun of an activity for me
Mm.
to feel stressed out for hours trying to figure out this problem and then figure it out and be like, okay, I fixed this one thing to like solve this, and I'm like, but it took me so long. Like it's more of a frustrating experience to me. So I'd always liked, you know, uh, media a little bit more, because I remember one of my throwaway emails also was from a school project that I did with one of my friends in high school, where it's funny because I remember what the topic was, um, and I remember what class it was for. It was for our economics class. I remember we did a project on photojournalism, and I'm like, I want to do photojournalism stuff when I grow up. This is me in high school. Like, I want to do photojournalism stuff when I grow up. I'm like, that's cool. And then I did TV productions, and then I was, thrust onto having to do software engineering. And yeah, I remember, my first job out of college. It was, uh, I couldn't find a programming job, so I had to find basically a technical writing job, business analyst job, doing like adjacent things to that. So when the opportunity arose, while doing that first job out of college, to keep helping out with GDQ doing photo stuff, I'm like, yeah, count me in. I'll do photo stuff. I like doing photos. Um, and yeah, so I did. I just started doing some pictures. Um, my first SGDQ was SGDQ 2016. So since AGDQ 2015, I've only missed one mainline event, which is SGDQ 2015, but SGDQ 2016 I did attend. Um, and yeah, so that event was the first event. Um, it wasn't dedicated photo shifts, but it was just doing photos. Like I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that was the first one of an album or not, a photo
Hmm.
album or not. But it's definitely one of the early ones, and I remember helping out there. And I'm like, yeah, this, you know, again, going back to January 11th, 2014, when I'm like, speedrunning, whatever,
Hmm.
to being like, oh, speedrunning's not that bad. Speedrunning's kind of cool. Um, yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do some more speedrunning things. Um, and that leads to, yeah, so, you know, 2016 to 2018 doing Ori stuff. Um, and I remember, so actually, GTS, I have a question for you. What is
Okay.
the longest game you've ever run? Like
Uh,
individual, not including like a 12-hour challenge, but like a run being like this length. Like, what is the longest run you've ever done?
well, probably 120 star because my
Okay.
PB's like 2 hours 25 minutes,
Yeah.
and my first run of it was almost 6 hours. But
Oh,
if
geez.
we're talking about current PBs, there's a fun category on the category extensions for Mario 1 where you do the warpless category 11 times in a row, and that takes 3.5 hours. I won't elaborate.
All right. Yeah. So, at some point in there, I was hanging out with Ori people, and they're like, "Did you want to race Final Fantasy X?" I'm like, "I love that game, sure." Like,
Hmm.
so
Uh-oh.
Final Fantasy X. This is before the cutscene removers existed,
Uh-oh.
by the way, mind you. Um, so I remember we did a run of Final Fantasy X. We did a race of Final Fantasy X. Um, I had obviously played it before, like some of the other people had played it before with just Ori community members. One person never played it before, never played the game before,
Mm.
and followed the guide to a T and still got a 14-hour time. Like they finished the game. like, uh, but I remember, around that time was, when I was doing the job that I didn't really like. So I'd be like, yeah, I'll run a long RPG on the weekend or whatever. Um, And yeah, so Final Fantasy games are honestly, I find Final Fantasy X to be a really fun run if you do it with other people.
Hmm.
It is not fun. I don't find it fun to do it solo. Um, and this is all before like a bunch of like the manips were found or like kind of tracking what you were um what you were supposed to do yet like no encounter any of that kind of stuff. Um, but it's still very fun. Like I'm gonna spend a day with my friends to run this game. Very fun. And so I remember doing some FF10 races. I also learned Final Fantasy VIII at one point. That I did solo. Final Fantasy VIII though is not very easy to do as a run. Um, like in terms of like RP, so yeah, you run a bunch of Mario. You know that that's very like input intensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Final Fantasy, it is a test of willpower. It is not like mechanically you're doing something very difficult. It is you have to be seated in your chair for this many hours without without being able to get up. Um, Final Fantasy X pre cutscene remover is a great run. You can get up every like 20 minutes for like 3 or 4 minutes because there's so many cutscenes. Final Fantasy VIII, you have a dance cutscene about like an hour and a half in or hour in, and then you have many hours where you're just locked in, and then near the end of the run when there's like an hour or two left, you get another 5 minutes, and those are like
Hmm.
your primary two breaks in the run. So like even though Final Fantasy VIII is like a fast, quote unquote, faster run than Final Fantasy X. It does not feel like it. Like at the end of a Final Fantasy run, you're like, I managed to get up make food, play the game a bit more, get to the next cutscene. My food is now done. I grab it, and then I play a little bit more, and then the next cutscene happens, and then I get to eat my food. Like it feels wildly different to do a Final Fantasy X run compared
Gotta
to
plan your day
a
around
run.
it.
Yeah, as opposed to Final Fantasy VIII, where it's like, okay, I have this amount of time I can get up, and then I. There are also long periods in FF8 where you're also just like mashing text. So it's like, but you still have to do it. Like you still have to like actively like press the buttons. It's like it's just so much less of a fun thing in my eyes to do.
Hmm.
I love the game still. That's still my favorite Final Fantasy. But yeah, like it's kind of interesting. A couple years ago there was the discussion of like, is a game a menus or a parkour game? It's like that is 100% a menus game, and it's like it's not. It's no longer like a test of your like physical abilities. It is your like mental state of like, can I be here for this many hours? um, and for a lot of people, the answer is no. Like that's probably why you know some people love RPG speedruns. Some people would never run an RPG. It definitely unlocks a different part of your mind doing that compared to something else. Do you run any RPGs at all?
No.
No.
God no.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, I do wish I ran more. It's just they are just such a time sink. Even with the cutscene removers, they're like 3 hours now. So it is not for the faint of heart to be able to have a whole day of free time uh,
Hmm.
to be able to do that. I don't know how much free time you have, but I feel like I don't have that much free time.
I technically have a ton. I just don't use it very well.
Oh.
Well, I won't for long,
Well,
no.
soon enough, you're gonna. Yeah, I remember I saw you said you're gonna start working full time job soon. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that'll
Um,
be different because I've never had a full-time position before, but
oh yeah.
it'll be
You know,
fun.
I'm gonna. With this being episode 180, I'm gonna turn this back around on you. All right, I'm
Okay,
gonna ask you questions throughout today.
great.
Um, yeah. Do you foresee yourself like when you have a full time job? Do you think you're still gonna be able to maybe find some time to either learn, a new game or anything like that, or are you going to mostly just kind of stick to your Sunday spotlights here?
Well, for the past while now, I've barely streamed except for this.
Uh,
So I'm not even taking advantage of free time when I have it. So that's not a good start. But I
yeah,
mean, it's not because I don't want to. It's just mental reasons.
yeah.
But
No, yeah, that's fair.
that is something I've always been worried about with having a full-time job was back, a couple years ago when I was like still pretty grindy about stuff. Like, I can't have a full-time. It take too much time away from what I actually want to do. I just can't I can't make that work. But then the reality of life sets in at some point. Unfortunately, we can't all be, full-time Twitch streamers.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean
But
that's fair.
I've actually, to answer your question a little better, I've been more interested in kind of the behind the scenes stuff as time has gone on, or like events, just like performing rather than just streaming and grinding for hours every day. That's kind of how my mindset has been shifting.
Yeah, I feel like the longer people are in the speedrun community, it is more about the speedrun like communities themselves as
Hmm.
opposed to grinding out like spending 12 hours to grind out, you know,
Yeah. I've been getting more
whatever.
satisfaction from community stuff rather than like
Yeah.
my individual performance at, leaderboards or whatever. Whatever it used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Same here. Going back to my history, we got up to around 2018 or so. In 2019, I remember I took off a bunch of time from my main job to go to events. Obviously, GDQ events were 2 weeks out of the year,
Mhm.
so
Yep.
that is in 2019. That was me taking off, a few weeks for that, and I remember coming back, um, and this was in. Trying to remember. I think I also went to TwitchCon that year because I remember I had taken off for TwitchCon, and then when I came back, I remember I came back to my job and they laid off like 30% of the people, me being one of them.
Mm, of
So
course.
yeah, so uh, yeah, I remember getting laid off from my actual job. Funny story about that though. I had a coworker of mine, and me and my coworker were already looking for other jobs. Um, and so I remember he didn't get laid off, and I got laid off. I remember I messaged him, and he was like, "Congratulations!" And I'm like, "I'm
Nice.
sorry that you didn't," because he didn't get laid off, so he didn't get severance.
Mm.
And I remember, I got severance and unemployment or whatever, and he was like, "Congratulations!" Like, we had both been like talking about how crappy the job was. Um, do you play any card games at all, by the way, GTA's?
Hard? No.
Like Magic
No,
or
no.
anything like that? Okay. So there's a site called TCG Player.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was my previous employer.
Oh,
But
okay, great.
yeah, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so after getting laid off, he's like, "Congratulations." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, I remember faking being sad when I
Okay.
when they like told me that like that I was getting laid off, I walked out of that building and like a big smile came across my face.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
oh
No.
no, the
The
travesty.
word. No.
Uh,
Why are you
the thing that
smiling?
I was already trying to get away, I was already like trying to get away from. Like my problems have been solved. Um, this is a complete tangent to anything speedrunning related, but I'm just gonna talk about it anyways
Yep,
because it's
that's
like,
fine. This show runs
uh,
on tangents. That's
yeah,
my new tagline. And by
yeah,
new, it's
exactly.
the one I've been using for years.
So at that point, it was, um, so I had had a really good manager, and at some point he had left, and that should have been like the alarm bells like blaring because like he was good, and like everything was like now looking back on it, he gave me like very clear warnings, like, "Hey, you should start looking for another thing." I already was kind of looking,
Mhm.
like kind of offhand, but that's when the alarm bell should have been really blaring of like, "Hey, you should get like I'm getting out of here. You should too." Uh,
Run.
and then it was like a couple of months of like me and that other coworker, talking about how crappy it was or whatever, and then they did their big layoff of like a bunch of people. Uh, Um, and then yeah, so at that point it was like, okay, so now what do I do with my life? It's like
Mhm.
what happens at that point? And it just so happened that the end of 2019 also, GDQ was ramping up its hotfix production. Um, so it used to be like only a special every time that there was something like interesting like that a community wanted to do of like the grand finals of some tournament or like a community had something.
Mhm.
But then it was kind of getting to the phase of like it being more a structured, oh, there are shows on that are recurring that need someone to you know to to get the streams up for them. And me being recently unemployed, I was offered the opportunity to help with that, and I'm like, well, I have no income right now. So um, you know, then that started up, and then more things got added. Now there's broadcast basically every day.
This
So
one right now. It's on my TV.
yeah, Yeah, shout outs to Railcoon, who's the other Hotfix producer.
Mhm.
That does, we split the week in half basically. So, shout outs to them for doing the other half. Um, and yeah, so uh, that's how I am here. It's weird thinking about like, what you were going to do when you were growing up to then having your job, then getting laid off, and
Mm.
then just kind of stumbling into what you do uh, right now. So,
Yeah.
uh, very, very unique path of getting here, I suppose. And
I feel like a lot of speedrunners can relate to that, not
yeah,
just like job related, but
yeah,
like how did I get here in the speedrun scene kind of a thing.
I, yeah. And coming from like the StarCraft community, it was like very, it's esports, it's competitive, and then in speedrunning, it's not as competitive. Like it's more like you're just like hanging out with people and getting to know people in the community. Like yeah, some people are grinding for world record, but then like also everyone else, you're just kind of just chilling, hanging out with. Um, I like it a lot more than esports, that's
Mm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I mean, having been, a volunteer for so many events and like seeing things grow, it's really interesting to see how things have changed. And if I remember correctly, so you've been around for about a decade or so, right?
Almost.
So yeah, going to events. I've noticed this shift where it's like, I used to be the youngest person at an event or whatever, and I was just like, doing like doing this thing where I walk around, I don't really know anybody,
Mhm.
and it's just me trying to like I volunteered just to have an opportunity to do something with other
Yeah.
people because I'm not great socially. Like I don't talk to people that much. And then at some point you go to an event now and it's like, oh, I know a bunch of people. I don't
Yeah.
know if you had a similar experience. Like, what was your first
Oof.
event like that you went to? Like, how many people did you know? Like, like, and then how are things like? You were just at SGDQ.
Yeah.
How do things compare?
I knew a solid like four people, of which I had never met in person. Um, and I left maybe, well, like I at least connected with some other people I knew from back then. Jeez. Oh, I'm getting spammed. Throwing me off. Alright. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, I mean, definite social awkwardness. I mainly just if the like three people I knew were busy, I'd just sit in the practice room playing Mario with no one
Yeah.
watching. Um, yeah. It ain't like that anymore.
Yeah, but now you like
Yeah.
know. Yeah, now you go to events, like a bunch of people.
Now I go
You've
to
talked to
events and
180 people
yeah, now I go to events
weekly.
and I feel bad coming home because even though I was there for a week constantly busy, I feel like I didn't spend enough time with everyone because I know 100 plus people and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I make this work?
Y-
It's a good
Actually,
problem to
after
have though. I'm not
yeah,
complaining. It's just I genuinely like know so many people now that I feel bad that I can't spend quality time with everyone.
yeah. I actually felt that way this SGDQ, because I had made plans with people, and then I had become busy, and then was unable to, and I felt so bad that I didn't respond to the people. I didn't respond to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't respond to everyone because I couldn't because I had no time.
Hmm.
I remember I slept like most of the days at this event. I slept like 4 hours a day. So by the end of the week, I was like super exhausted and like I felt so bad. Um, and I'm still like reeling from it. Like I
Yeah.
definitely like needed to like catch up on sleep and also just like yeah, it is hard like it is a different problem to have, right? It's a very interesting thing having been around for a while.
Mhm.
Now it's like, oh, you know a bunch of people, but you can't possibly talk to everyone. Like it's just not
Yeah.
possible within a week. So
Yeah, and
you kind of have to pick and choose.
yeah, and you usually don't really communicate, not on at the event.
Yeah, it's just so
So,
hard because like you're getting you're getting pulled to like this way that way every single
yeah.
direction, and yeah, so yeah, definitely a stark contrast to 10 years ago having gone to an event and like I knew at my first event those friends that I came with and one other person, like that's it, those are all the
Mhm.
people that I knew. And now it's like now I know some people. It's like I just schedules don't match up, because I also work the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts usually.
Ugh.
Um, so yeah, my hours are all like different from most everybody else's because like people aren't usually awake at those hours. Which is great if you want to play in the arcade, by the way. So if you
Mhm.
ever go to a GDQ, I had actually heard that the Waka player, like one of the people that was playing the Waka machine, which is like
Yeah.
it's not the My My machine, but it's the other circular rhythm game machine that they were like, third in the US or something, and they had bought like attendance just to play that in the arcade for the whole week. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I guess that tracks, right? Because usually you have to pay, what, like $1 per play or something. So if you play it the whole week and that's all you do, then it's worth it, right?
Mm,
It's worth it to pay the admission fee, which is I guess that's cool, I mean, um,
why not?
more power to them. Yeah. Um, especially in those hours, like again, from those like late night hours, the arcade's like pretty empty.
Mhm.
All the other rooms also pretty empty compared to the daytime at least. And I remember they had like a little phone setup of like them recording them playing just in case I guess they got a PB or something. Which if they're one of the best in the country, I guess that makes sense. If they're if they're grinding out for hours and hours and hours or whatever. Um, so so good on them. Uh, did you play anything at the arcade this event, GTA's?
Well, I'm a big death baller, so
Oh yeah.
that's very important. Yes. Um, ice cold beer was a popular one.
uh, I
You know,
watched Auth play that.
yeah,
I didn't actually play it myself. Uh,
I did beat one
I
loop, but
oh
yeah.
nice. I played the candy machine
Ah,
and I
yes.
failed getting candy. And then yeah.
I got plenty of candy.
uh,
Don't worry.
uh,
If
yeah.
if you have free play open on a candy machine, just I don't know.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You have left out
uh,
free candy for people.
uh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, talking about all of these events, how things have grown. It's like now there's just so much to do there.
Hmm.
Um, that I feel like is a week enough time? Like
No.
at the end of at the end of it, you're exhausted and you're like, and you get home, you're like, yeah, that was definitely enough time. But like in the moment, you're like, is this really enough time?
Even
Uh,
I don't know. I I feel at the end of events now where it's like, no, I could keep going.
I'd go for a few more days.
Granted, I'm not in your position where I have to actually like do work, so that's a little
Yeah.
different. But from the attendee perspective, yeah, I could have been there a little longer.
Yeah, so the photo video team has evolved a lot since I've been there. Obviously, again, mentioning that first event that I did, quote unquote, as a photographer, I remember, I literally just volunteered to help out doing whatever. And actually, hold on. Actually, at that event too, do you know that I commentated Super Mario Brothers at a mainline event before?
Well, no, this is before my
Okay.
time.
Yes. So I commentated the Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels tasks, actually.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so
Sure.
they it's it's funny because I had completely forgotten about it until I
Mm.
just said it out loud because of the fact that it was 8 minutes long, and also it was um, something that I had scripted out fully beforehand. I actually still have the stream highlight of me going through the tasks, basically like um, you know, just going through it on like my own time, and I made the script for the entire thing of like, this is when we're gonna say these things because that's what's happening in the four games. So, have you watched that task before?
I guess not. You said 8 minutes, so you can't beat all those games in 8 minutes.
Uh, yeah. At any rate,
Okay.
so yeah, so it was like uh, you know, going through each of the different games using the same inputs. So
Oh,
while
that
you're
task. Okay.
yeah. So while you're progressing in yeah, it's not consecutively, it's all at the same time. You start all four games at the same time.
Okay,
Uh
because
and then
I have I don't know if no, I probably watched the whole thing, but just the tasks, not the I didn't know they showcased it.
yeah. So there's a showcase of it. And I remember so that was back when Power Up Audio used to do the audio. And I had
Mm.
basically given them the entire script and been like, this is what we're focusing on commentary. And I wish I had saved the video. They have their video somewhere on like social media somewhere. But basically it was in each segment, like I had here's the block of commentary, and then also here's all of the games that we're focusing on talking about. I was like, oh, okay, so now we're making progress in like SMB2 or whatever, and we're going to talk about how like now we're using Toad or whatever, and then after that like switched our commentary. Like the commentary was fully planned before showing up on stage. And so what happened was they had their list of okay, these are all the things they're focusing on. So if you go back and watch that SGQ task for the SMB games, you'll notice as the commentary goes on, they bring up the faders for whatever we're talking about in the commentary, and it was all very fast switching to go into those. And so if you ever go back and listen to it, it's actually kind of interesting to see how fast they would swap for whatever we were talking about. Um, and
I'll have to
yeah,
go back. Yeah.
honestly, it escaped my mind because it's such a small run in my mind. That it's just like I was on stage for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I'm off stage because it was like a whole task block. They did like three different tasks in like a span of like an hour or something. So
Mhm.
it was just very quick on and off stage. Actually, funny thing about that event too, I remember running into a friend from high school.
Oh.
Now, mind you, I went to high school in New Hampshire, so
Hmm.
the fact that I ran into someone um, from high school at that event was like mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, no, that
In Minnesota, in so,
and this is
uh,
back when, there weren't 2,000 attendees, right?
yeah, this was back when it was like,
That,
800, 1,000 or whatever.
that's
So
wow.
so that event, I guess, yeah. So since you weren't at that event, that was at this SGDQ hotel, but the main stream room was what the practice room is currently.
Okay, wait. It's good you bring this up because I was looking at old photos and I
Yes.
forget why, but this event oh, I was looking at like where past GDQs were and I noticed like, oh yeah, it's the Hilton. Oh, they
Yeah.
have pictures and I looked and I was like, this is not the same hotel. What? This looks
Yeah. So
nothing the same until
2016,
yeah. There was a
Yeah, so
picture that showed the outside and showed like the steakhouse across the street. I was like, "Holy shit, this is the same hotel."
it is, yeah.
How the
So yeah, so that was my first SGQ ever, and yeah, so that hotel is the current hotel,
Mhm.
but the stream room is what so the stream room is what the practice room is now, and
Mhm.
like the arcade, what it is, the arcade today is what the practice room was. Like that was where the
Okay,
practice room was
got it.
before.
And there was a
Um,
room they were using the rooms, like, in the very back, right? Like, where the
so
hawk
yeah, so
was?
if you
Yeah.
imagine like the third floor now is the stream room, like just
Mhm.
imagine the third floor wasn't used in 2016.
That's yeah,
Like
okay. But they also remodeled the entire hotel, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
nothing in there
yeah,
looked
yeah.
at all the same.
Yeah, I think they like redid the whole look of
Okay.
everything.
That was
Um,
the theory I had looking at the photos, but I was also like, the practice room looks bigger. I to if it's being used as the
yeah.
stream room, like, it looked too big, but maybe, like,
I
because of the
I think it's just like the
remodeling?
lighting or something
Maybe.
because it's like so much darker. You know, like that practice room's dark.
Yeah.
But when it was the stream room, there's like lights everywhere. And
You
yeah,
know
if
what
you
it
look at old
was is,
pictures, it's kind of like that.
I finally watched the famous Bonesaw run recently. That's what it
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. Which took place in that
Yeah,
room.
and that's why I was like, "Wait, this happened at that hotel? That's crazy."
Yeah, that happened in
Much
what
love
is
to the
now the practice
Wilsons.
room.
Anyway,
So
the
you got to park your car, right? No, but
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that like all of those rooms were just on the second floor, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly, in 2016.
That
So
makes
like
sense.
what the arcade and the music room were from this event, it was like the practice rooms. I
Mhm.
So one of the things that they did when they remodeled, they might have added more like rooms too. I don't actually
Yeah,
know.
that that makes
They might
sense.
have split it up some way. I don't know exactly.
Because there was, like, no like, the whole board game room area, I didn't see anything like that. And, maybe the
Yeah,
layout was different because the practice room, again, you could see that steakhouse, which is, like, in the back,
yeah.
like, where the orientation room was, but, like, the room close to the
Yeah,
windows.
they might have overhauled like the layout of the floor and like yeah, how
But
the
yeah, I
rooms are
was, like,
separated.
geo-guessing the photos, like,
Yeah.
what rooms are these? It looks so weird.
Yeah, no, those are all like somewhere on the second floor.
Okay. I'm glad to have
Uh,
confirmation from someone that was there because that was, like,
yeah.
eating me a little bit when I was looking at it, like, what rooms are these?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely just like all second floor stuff, but I don't remember how much of it.
Okay.
Um, but now it's like, yeah, now it's like double the space and there are like
Mhm.
vendors and stuff too. Okay, actually, question for you.
Okay.
Did you get anything from this last SGQ from any of the vendors in the vendor
N
hall?
no, I did not.
Okay.
I did
Uh,
last time? I
yeah.
forget. Usually I only do if, like, someone I know is selling
Yeah,
stuff, but there
that's
was
fair.
one thing. I saw a sticker that said "Imagine a bus" on it, and, instead of buying it, I just scolded the the
Uh,
person at
that's
the
funny.
store, like, "How dare you?" No, but
Yeah, I got a, Balatro poster that I have
that's
not hung
fair.
up yet. And then yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't have enough space to buy stuff and bring it back. So
yeah, usually I, um, get enough free stuff to justify it, like, I'll people will hand me stickers and I'll slap them on my giant Trinitron right here, and then, like, little badges and stuff, or little pins to put on the lanyard, but yeah.
yeah. Speaking of stickers, so this water bottle actually had no stickers going into SGDQ, and I didn't even buy any stickers at SGDQ.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, one of my friends told me your water bottle looks like it's nothing, so you should get some stickers and put them on. So now I have a bunch of stickers on this thing.
Yeah? Yeah, my,
But stay hydrated.
okay, so my Sony Trinitron is like the ones they used to have, like, everywhere at GDQ, like the flat screen 27 inchers. I,
Yeah,
they don't have as many of those anymore, but I remember, like, 2018. That's All of the TVs were those. Good times. So just imagine that, but with like 50 various stickers I've gotten from events, just plastered all over the rims and the sides. That's what my TV
Uh,
looks like.
what is the do you remember the first sticker that you got
First one,
for it?
uh, God, I think so actually because it's dead in the middle. But it was Grand Pooh Bear's speedrun sessions from when it was at
Oh,
SGDQ 2022 Day Zero. He had it in Minneapolis, so I went to it because it was right down the street. And I think that was the
wish
first one
those
because it's right in the middle, and then everything else has kind of been plastered around it. I
around
got a
it.
lot more from that SGDQ that are still here. So yeah, like these stickers, some of them are 4 years old then.
Kind of wish speedrun sessions was still around. I remember going to one in
Yeah,
Boston
I went
for
to one in
PAX East.
Chicago, which is still like 4 hours away from me, but I made it work. Uh, it was fun. But
That yeah.
I'm a St. Louis. I'm near the St. Louis area, and I asked Pooh, "Ever coming to St. Louis?" He said that is the one city I have blacklisted, will never visit again. And I said, "Yep, that's fair." So I'm not gonna get that luxury. We got nothing out here. It's very sad.
I feel like after COVID, kind of,
Yeah. Well,
you
the one
know,
I went to was post-COVID, but
yeah. I
yeah,
remember you had a
I've been
couple
to
in like
two.
2022
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
I
I've
think
been to
that
two.
Boston one was like 22 or 23. Um, but I
Yeah,
mean, there
I
hasn't
even
been one in a long time,
yeah,
so.
I even told him like, hey, you know, if you need someone, I, but yeah, I haven't heard from it in a while.
Yeah, I guess actually that brings me to the topic of, other speedrunning events.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so I've gone to speedrun sessions. I've been to RPG Limit Break.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm trying to think like what other speedrunning events I've gone to. Because I feel like nowadays there are, you know,
A
a
lot.
fair amount of them,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard in my brain to keep track of. I've gone to, I guess, Speedrun Coliseum. I went to that in
Mm.
2024. What other speedrun events have you gone to?
I was a frequent pace goer, the GSA event, um, until that died because their management sucks. Anyway, won't get into that. But they had 5 post-COVID events. I went to them all. That was because that was actually my first like on stage live run was at one of those. So that was kind of fun. And we had our Mario 1 tournaments there until we had to move because they stopped doing the events. But
Yeah.
um I think that's the only other one other than I went to 2 speedrun sessions because they were near where I was kind of. One wasn't too close, I guess, but um and then like PAX just because if I've been to a PAX, it's because I ran a run at the GDQ stage. If I've been to one TwitchCon because I ran at GDQX. Um,
Actually, which TwitchCon did you go
that
to?
was 2024. I was the finale.
Okay. Yeah.
I was cool.
Yeah, TwitchCon. So I remember going to, I think it was like the second or third TwitchCon or something, um, like 2018 or something. There was so much more gaming there than there is now.
Yeah, I there wasn't much to do for me there. I felt like it was just like
So
vendors and like one main stage doing stuff I didn't really give a shit about. The only thing I like cared about that wasn't GDQ that was there was Point Crow did a little show, and I happened to run into him the day before, and he was like, "You should come watch this," and I was like, "Okay." So then I did,
yeah,
and it was fun.
so
But yeah, that's all I did.
TwitchCons TwitchCons used to be much more like PAXs are, where PAX is all about games
Yeah,
basically.
no, PAX. There was so much to do at PAX.
Yeah,
Like,
PAX
even
is
though I spent
very
most of
fun.
my time in the GDQ area, like they were at least like, yeah, you could buy games, you could play
Yeah.
games, you could find other people and talk. You could talk to indie devs. Like, I don't know, it was. much more to do,
So
and then also, like, their not the panels, but they would have, like, game shows and just other
yeah,
content that you could
the
actually
early
participate in.
The
Anyway,
early Twitch cons used to be like that. Like they used to
damn,
have games. Like TwitchCon used to be
that'd
fun.
be nice.
uh,
All I remember from TwitchCon other than that was watching all my friends go to the partner party, and I was sad and alone.
uh, yeah, I remember like going to like an early one, and then a couple years ago, like going back after a few years, and it was like, what happened?
Yeah, it
uh,
was yeah, I all my fun I had, like, outside the main event space. Like, their
yeah.
artist area's nice.
That's like the
Um,
one cool part, but it's
yeah,
like
but,
also
like
then you still have to spend money. It's like, but I just want to
yeah,
play
it's like
games.
yeah, there's nothing to do there. Like, it's not something I'd ever go to unless, "Oh, you're gonna do a
Unless you
run."
were play,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that is
that,
the same with PAX too. Like, I couldn't
yeah.
justify spending that much on their badges. That's the other thing with TwitchCon though. It's like the same price as like a PAX badge. It is not worth that
But you don't get
at
to play any
all.
video
Yeah, you don't
games.
get to do
Yeah,
shit. Like, that is not worth it. PAX, I can see it a little better, but it's still like out of my price range unless I get in.
yeah.
So, I submitted to PAX West. Here's
But
hoping,
like,
but
it's still, you got the good luck. But yeah, it's still good if you're like I still know people that will go to PAXs like
yes, and
that, like
that's the other
because they
nice
like
thing.
games
Yeah, like I'll
like
know people that went. Like
that
you
are
get a
outside
better
of
GDQ
speedrunning.
turnout
Yeah,
too. Plus, you
yeah,
get 4 days at a PAX. TwitchCon, you get 3. Although I
yeah.
know since you're talking about like older TwitchCon that I'm unfamiliar with, something I do know is their GDQXs would be 24/7 for that weekend, and
Yeah,
they're
the
not
first
anymore.
couple I believe were, and then I think I don't actually remember exactly. I think there were runners that had problems like getting in or something.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Okay.
uh, yeah, I don't actually remember though. But
Yeah, that's
like
before my
obviously that's just
time.
a
But
yeah, like that's just like a logistical nightmare to deal with.
yeah.
Um, cause like if someone leaves the stream room and they like sneak into one of the other areas of the venue, like that's obviously like
Uh-oh.
that's like a whole mess. But I don't actually remember exactly what happened with that. But yeah, that does remind me. I did actually go to another speedrunning event, but this also includes a TwitchCon story, so I'm gonna tell it.
Okay.
Um, so Twitch used to have like I think weekly broadcasts on the like twitch.tv/Twitch
Mhm.
channel, where they would give away like tickets to TwitchCon, right? And that there was one point where they had a video contest of, hey, these are the people that are or like here's the upcoming TwitchCon, like make a video, and get a chance to win, an opportunity to go to the event.
Mm.
Um, And so me and my friend, we had previously won a StarCraft video contest,
Mm.
and and I told my friend, hey, like let's run it back,
Let's run it
So
back.
let's win again. Um, and in that first contest, I remember looking at the rules of it for the StarCraft competition. It was basically okay, make an advertisement and like hype up the event or whatever. Everyone else submitted a sob story to that, and I
Mm.
was the like me and then one other person like actually made a video of like hey, go to this event because it's cool, and we ended up winning because the other person didn't have like a well edited video.
Mm.
um but yeah, so me and my friend won that, and then going to this TwitchCon contest, this was like 3 years later, and I'm just like, all right, we're gonna run this back. We're gonna win again. And then when they announced the top 10, we ended up getting second.
Nice.
So that didn't get us a trip. So it was not nice.
What? Uh, oh,
So only
I
the
thought they
winner
were.
got the trip. No,
Oh, wow.
only
That
the winner got the trip. But here's the
Cringe.
thing. Again, I read through all of the rules. Again, it was supposed to be you make a hype video
Hmm.
and then they'll give you a chance to win. This will tie into speedrunning very, very soon. So
Okay.
the winner of this was some fighting game player. They had, they did just like a sob story of they didn't even edit a video. They just took like a clip from their stream or whatever,
Mm.
and they were just like, saying whatever bullshit to
Drama.
appease, the Twitch overlords to get them to win. But again, they didn't even follow the rules. So like, they just
Ooh.
picked some bigger streamer, right, to go to TwitchCon,
Hmm.
which, I thought was that's kind of unfair, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um but anyways, so this now ties into speedrunning. So there used to be this event run by Raging Cherry called Smash the Record. So it
Hmm.
was a hybrid Smash Bros. Speedrunning event. So this was Smash the Record 2017, and so I go there for speedrunning because I want to hang out with some speedrunning people. Um, and then who's at that one of the players in that Smash tournament?
Oh.
The fucker that won the
Mm.
TwitchCon ticket. Um, and so I was a photographer for that event. Again, like this is 2017. I just I bought an attendance and I was like, "Do you want me to take pictures or whatever?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure. Take some pictures, send them to me." And this is my sweet sweet comeuppance, right?
Okay.
So I see that other person there, and I'm like, this person won that ticket to TwitchCon. I only took the most unflattering photos of this person the whole event. I like one I don't really care about Smash. So I wasn't in the Smash area that much. Like I was mostly in the speedrunning area anyways. But there were a couple situations where like I'm like, okay, I'll take some pictures of Smash players. And if I ever saw that person, I was like, and I saw a good picture, I'm like, delete, delete, delete. And it was my small little way of like being like, yeah, that's right. That's
Delightfully
right. You want
devilish.
you want a trip that you didn't even follow the rules for. So like that's that was my small little victory. Um,
I'm
a small
sure
little piece
he'll
of
never forget what you've done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It literally doesn't even matter. It's like
Not at all.
uh, I honestly felt like I was like I felt good after it, and that's what matters, right? And like if I was officially doing photos, I would, I had put good photos in, but it was since it was just like a for funsies thing, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and actually, funny thing about that event, this is such a random memory from that event, but I was there with Kiara, uh, and so this was at the Ontario Convention Center in California, in Ontario,
Mm.
California, and there was 2-year expired Pepsi in their fridge at the
Wow.
concession stand at the convention center.
You had to pay money for that?
Kiara bought it, and she had
Oh my
she
god.
she took a sip of it, and she was like, "What is this? Why is this so flat?"
Ooh,
Uh,
yikes.
and then we looked at the expiration date. It was like 2 years ago, and we were like, "What is going on? Like, do they not replace their soda? Like, and does nobody buy it?"
Was that
And
just from Machine?
no, it was from their concession stand,
Oh,
like an
well,
actual stand
did
at
you
the.
get the money back at least?
Yeah, yeah, she went back and like
Okay.
got a refund and a new one, and
Nope.
looked at the expiration date.
That's good.
Um, but
All's
yeah,
well that
that
ends
that event
well.
was that event was interesting. Um, yeah, again, like it was just a small event, but yeah, that's one of the other speedrun events that I've gone to. One of the few in California, turns out, because California's expensive.
Mm. Yeah, there was
Trying to think,
Cali-thon
like,
for a little bit.
oh, actually, I did go to one
Oh,
Caliphon. Uh, it was at like the direct relief headquarters too, and I remember
Oh,
going there, and it was really hot. So-
yeah.
and I remember this is such a weird memory to have, but I remember like going into the car with some people, and I was like, "Do you not turn the AC on?" And like they're all like, "No, it's like kind of cool out," and I'm like, "I'm burning up in here," because like I'm from New England, like, and they're all like, "No, it's fine, like it's not hot and stuffy at
It's
all."
only like 90. What do you mean? It's like jacket
I'm
weather.
I'm like, I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I just run cold because I'm from New England, but and then I went to school in upstate New York, so it's like I don't know. It's that's such a weird memory to have of Calathon, but that's literally like the first thing I think of
Well, clearly
when
it left an impression.
yeah. And then Calathon ended.
Mm, rip.
Yeah. Um.
I actually
Yeah.
met
Let's
Jeff
see.
at that TwitchCon I was at. So,
Oh. Okay. Nice.
so that's
Uh.
I got to learn a little bit about it, but
Yeah. Let me. I'm trying to think of like. So, what other events? What other events are there? GTA. There are
what
no
are
other
there?
events. You know.
Oh my god. I
You
mean,
know.
well, there's the Midwest Speed Fest. Never
Yep.
been, but
Yeah. I haven't been to one of those.
my first ever run I ever did for any marathon ever was Midwest Speed Fest. It was
Is
Midwinter Speed
online.
Sprinter 2019 online. Yes. I do
Online.
remember
Okay.
that. And I was in my college dorm. It was 5 a.m. I had the worst mic ever. I didn't know how to do commentary. I was it was the worst fucking thing I've ever done in my
uh,
life. But you got to start somewhere.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
pretty bad at
remember it.
commentary.
Yeah, I just remember it. I've gotten better, but I definitely need like someone else to talk to.
Bounce off of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or to like here talk about this for me while I log in, please. Like I can't do solo comms.
Solo
Not
comms
well.
is impossible.
Yeah, I can't do
I
solo comms well, but I mean
I
I
would
can do it.
yeah. I was actually so after I did Tetris 99 last year at SGDQ, I was
Mm,
trying to encourage some more people to just loop in like if they didn't have anyone on comms to like loop in someone from the charity because they would be all about that, you know. The charity people are like so excited. Like Greta was from MSF was super excited to be on the couch, and they were saying that it was like, you know, now they feel like part of the marathon because like they show up for like the interviews and stuff, but like it's not every day they get to commentate a run.
mm,
And I was actually trying to like look back and see if any charity members had commentated before. Now I didn't find any, so I felt kind of happy that I started that, and I convinced Spike to next run he gets in, he's gonna get a charity member to sit in
mm.
because why not, right? Like that's
That's
like
fun. Yeah.
an hour of extra attention on the charity. Um, and I'm someone so okay. So one of the things that I like about Hotfix is you just get to talk about runs, right? You just get to talk about the runs you're doing. There's no like pushing or anything for charity, things like that. Like I hate the constant like reminders of like donating and incentives and stuff. So like that's why I think it is an interesting idea to like switch things up by like having a charity member there and just having them talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the exact same as like you're pushing towards this incentive or whatever. It's like now you have someone there that it is their job to do whatever they do for the organization. And I think it's like a unique little spin on it, and it like is less of that like pushiness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, that that's why I like doing the Hotfix shows a lot too, is because I feel like it gives you a chance to do like as a runner do more explaining of things that you wouldn't normally get to do.
Mhm.
When you did all your uh, SMB runs
Yeah.
in a row, I'm like, I didn't even know these things were possible. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
That that was the point.
yeah,
Because there's
I was like, this is sick.
it'd be no other reason to show them off on a like
Yeah,
larger stage, but I guess. Anyway.
yeah. I mean, I wish that there was like more, more of that, where it's like I gotta do some just like random cool shit in this game
Yeah.
and show it. Um, and I do feel like there's some situations where people are doing that more. You know, like there's more showcases than there were before. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think that we'd ever see a situation of like, you know, doing as many runs as you did
Yeah, no.
of a game. Like I don't think that ever happened in a mainline event. But I'm really happy that it got get showcased somewhere. You know.
Yeah, that
Um,
was funny because that I basically didn't even plan out that stream in any
yeah,
way. Like out an hour before I just decided, oh, these are some runs I could do. Because what happened was right before the event, I was in LA for the Mario 1
yeah,
tournament and I met up with Kiara for a day. And she
yeah.
was like, I need someone for my show. Save me. And I was like, all right. But I had no plan at all. So I was just like, here, I'll just do random Mario bullshit. And apparently people seem to like it, so I'll take it. But
Yeah.
that was a
I
complete just off rip random bullshit.
I also had a lot of fun making that thumbnail, let me tell you.
Oh, oh yeah, you make the thumbnail. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually so the way that yeah, so the way Railcoon and I split things up, you know, we do half of the week for broadcasts. So you know, I do 3 days, Ray does 3 days. That's obviously not enough to fill everyone's schedule, so I'll do thumbnails and then they will pick up some other work. Um so, you know, it all works out. It all shakes out to, you know, roughly the same amount of hours. But yeah, I end up doing the thumbnails and that Mario one, I was actually racking my brain for a little bit of like, what do I want to do for this? And I'm like, I definitely want to like do something silly where it's like show like, yeah, you know, you did all of these different categories. And and I
And there
was
they
like,
all
okay,
were.
I'm gonna grab the text box of like, you know, just like when you turn on the game, I can turn that text box into text boxes for all the categories and just like throw them up all on screen. And I'm like, as I was doing it, I was like, wow, you really did showcase a lot of different categories.
Well, when the game's 5 minutes, you can do a lot of 5 minute things in two
uh,
hours. Granted, that
and you did some 20-minute things.
yeah, I did
So,
a few 20-minute
you know,
things.
yeah. We did like the gauntlet of 5-minute things, and then we took a break, and then we did a gauntlet of 20-minute things, you know?
Yeah, it was great.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, that was fun. It also, yeah, I guess your thumbnail worked because it got higher than
Yeah, it was
average
good.
views for a hotfix show. So,
It blew most other hotfix shows out of the water in terms
so
of
we'll
views.
take that. We'll take the
Uh,
dub. But
yeah, yeah, honestly, like it's things like that that I really enjoy getting to see people get to do on, you know, obviously hotfix viewership's like nothing compared to like a main event, and I don't think it's ever going to be.
no,
But I do think it's fun where people get to actually talk about what they're doing and then get to gush about like the games that they're playing.
yeah,
Because you don't get to see that at main events, and you know I feel like that's the thing that you know the internet as a whole complains about. It's like stop pushing for whatever. It's like, but the other 50 weeks, you can see people talking about these other
yeah,
things. You know,
like I get
keep
the whole like I miss how it used to be type deal, but
yeah.
I also like how it is now, and it's I think doing better because of how it is now. Like,
I
yeah, there
think
are pros
people
and cons
can
to both eras of GDQ, I guess, but like
yeah
no era is like bad. That's
yeah,
what I
and
disagree with a lot of the criticism on. It's
I
like,
also think like them, they can find other marathons to watch
yeah,
too. Like there's just so much more now. this isn't directly speedrunning related, but I was watching a little bit of Zeldathon this past week too, and it's like,
Hmm.
there's like so many things where like other people are doing like silly dumb things,
Yeah, the Coliseum events are a
and
good example of just silly
yeah,
dumb things.
like there's plenty that if you look for it, you'll find what you want. And I just think, the casual viewers as a whole probably just don't know that it
Yeah,
exists. So maybe that's on us to be better at, talking about all these other things that are going on
yeah. All and then the
elsewhere.
people that like miss the old GDQ, it's like great. There were like hundreds upon hundreds of old GDQ runs you can go back and watch. I promise you haven't seen them all. Go
Yeah.
ham, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I like both eras, old and new.
Do you go back and watch any like either runs that you did or runs that you're like, oh damn, I should check that out? Or
Um, I'll go back and rewatch my runs at least once just to like see because while you're doing
see
it
how it is?
you don't really get the idea of what the
Yeah.
viewer saw. But yeah, I will go back and watch runs from any era of GDQ that I
Oh,
find interesting.
what I what I find really funny. So I actually do. So I think my YouTube recommendations are absolutely destroyed
Hmm.
because I make the thumbnails, and so like I'll check the GDQ YouTube just to make sure that the thumbnails are right, and I never click on a video. So I'm
Hmm.
literally never recommended any speedrun videos on
Nice.
YouTube. It's uh, it's actually kind of really funny.
Yeah,
um, because
that
like
makes
I guess
sense.
the algorithm's like, oh, why does he keep clicking into this channel and not clicking on any
He
videos?
must
He
hate
must
these
not be
videos. Yeah.
he must not be interested at all. It's like literally all of my YouTube recommendations are like food, space videos, like geography videos, and
Hmm.
like none of none of it is speedrunning.
Yeah.
Like there's so little gaming that I've recommended.
I only
Uh,
watch my subscription feed, so
yeah, I mean I'm mostly just a Twitch watcher anyways.
yeah.
So like that's where I mostly watch like people. Um
There's a good amount of YouTube content I still consume frequently,
yeah.
especially if it's speedrunning related. But um, yeah, like my For You page is just subscriber videos that have been uploaded recently because I only watch. I won't like watch YouTube videos from people I'm not
Yeah.
subscribed to unless I'm like I do an incognito e to get a feel for it, and then like okay, I'll subscribe now, and now I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm one of those people that will like every few years like I'll like clear my lists on like every platform. So like
No, I don't do that.
like
My
social
list is
media or like
huge.
YouTube follows, like
Yeah.
all like your YouTube subscriptions, I guess, like Twitch follows, like literally every couple years, I will go through the entire list and be like, I don't watch this anymore, I don't watch this anymore, I don't watch this anymore, and just like clear it all. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely one of those. I feel like maybe I'm in the minority here,
Yeah,
but like,
not the same for me, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got to that point where I was like, why do I follow all these people that I literally don't I would never click on ever again.
well, you see
um,
what I do is whenever I like meet someone at GDQ or at any event and at least talk to them for a little bit, I'm the guy that's like, okay, I will follow your Twitch, YouTube, and Blue Sky now, even if I will never interact with you ever again. But I'm just so nice. I got
yeah.
no,
Well, maybe I'm just a hater.
no.
No, because that's the thing too. Is like most of my DMs with people are like, "Here's a stream key. Here's a
Yeah.
stream key." And then like I'll talk to a person at an event for 5 minutes. It's like, am I ever actually going to click on their stream? Hmm, maybe.
I know the
and,
answer
and
for
then
me is no, but like I don't know.
yeah,
You never know. Maybe it's like, oh
yeah.
shit, they're doing something I really want to see today, and I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So,
Again, it is really funny that I followed GDQ in 2012, but I didn't actually care until 2014.
hmm,
So at some point I had to have done that for GDQ. It's like, oh, I guess I don't really care about this that much. Um, and I'll check it out later.
hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm one of those people that is definitely I clear everything. It's like I don't want to associate with something from like I guess this is part of me leaving the StarCraft community and like being
Mm,
more part of the speedrun community too, where it's like a bunch of them don't one they don't stream anymore, but like even if they do, I'm not gonna watch that anymore because it's like I guess my interests have changed
mhm,
and I feel like a different I just watch different things now.
yeah.
Do you? It's actually so. I'm curious about your Twitch viewing habits. Do you mostly like watch people that like have run, games that you've run before, or is it like you're trying to like
Uh,
see new things and like either like hang out with friends or like try to find something new to maybe play?
well, I've pretty much gone full lurk mode for the past while now, but like I always have Twitch on my TV, like it's on right now. Um, but
Twitch.tv, yeah.
yeah, slash games done quick, in fact, because I really like driving games, so this is
I
perfect. But
I want to just keep my streak on the GQ channel. I
mm,
broke it when I got to like 50 or something. Um and now I'm back to like 100. Now I will have a tab up for when it's not my day that I'm working so I keep my streak up.
fair, I
Uh
guess. But
and streaks don't even matter. Streaks literally don't matter for anything.
no,
Um and like there aren't even any channel point redeems either. Like there's nothing of value of keeping a streak.
yeah, I don't even know why they add these things. But anyway, yeah, I
Yeah.
usually just watch people I've interacted with in some form.
Yeah.
Um, and if they're playing a game, I find it interesting. Which mostly Mario, but not just like, oops, not just like 2D, but like
Yeah.
any Mario, like even Mario's I haven't played or whatever. But
Did you watch anyone doing any 602s
oh yeah,
the
I,
last
I had Oddly's
day?
stream on all last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Were you there for the
Yeah,
the end of it?
yeah.
Did...
I'm not cringe.
yeah. I was bouncing around a little bit yesterday. But yeah, I feel like that that's part of being a speedrun viewer. I think is being like a variety casual in some way. Like
Hmm.
I kind of like just putting up events sometimes like BSG just started too just like having whatever random weekend events up on like a separate monitor. I feel like I like doing that because I have no interest in playing almost all of the games, but I'll
Hmm.
watch someone for like 30 minutes to run through a game, right? Like
Yeah,
I think that's kind of fun where it's like I'm never going to I know I don't care for this game. I don't like it, but I want to hear about it from the person that does care about it a lot. Like
yeah,
I think that enhances my experience, and like then I'll walk away from that experience being like, oh, I kind of like that, but I still won't play it, right? Like I'm not
yeah.
gonna spend $60 to play this game that I don't care about. Um,
Well, it's like why people
I
watch Let's Plays, except this is a lot more
yeah
fast paced and interesting. It's
yeah
perfect for those low attention spans.
that's why I don't like Let's Plays,
Yeah,
but like I'm like, okay, you're skipping through the game. Good. I didn't want to see it anyways.
perfect.
Uh, so yeah, I feel like that scratches the itch of like my most games for me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna watch this marathon, and there's gonna be like a dozen games I know nothing about, and I'll get like the little taste of it, and then I'm done. Like that's it.
Hmm.
That's all I'm gonna experience of the game. Um, which is better than me not buying the game and not playing it at all. Like that's the most engagement they'll get out of me for the game. Uh, and there are some situations where like maybe I'll like recommend oh yeah this game was super cool like
Hmm.
to someone that like might actually be interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, publicity is helpful.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to think actually. Are there any games from this past SGDQ that runs that you watched that you're like oh this is cool that you wouldn't have like otherwise known about?
I wouldn't have otherwise known about. I don't. God, what did I even watch? Um, I usually again just watch game. If like especially if I'm there in the stream room, I'm gonna only like watch runs from people I care about.
All right. Well, my highlight of the week was Snoopy,
That's fair.
M Sushi.
But
So
yeah.
everyone needs to watch that game.
Yeah, I didn't watch it live because it was just at the
Yeah.
perfect time
It's
period.
at like 6
Move
a.m.
move silly block back to what it used to be, please. Anyway,
Yeah.
I watched the VOD back and yes, it was beautiful in every way.
Snoopy's the greatest run.
Hmm.
Sleeper hit.
No, yeah.
An actual platforming game when you get to the later loops. Like
It,
uh
that was an experience. And I was aware of it already. Like I knew what was going to happen, but like
yeah.
I can't I can't believe like it wasn't even close to meeting the costume incentive. Just absolutely tragic, but
uh,
it is what it is, I guess.
but that run is
No, it was beautiful. No.
so see that's the thing. Like those are the kinds of games where it's like I would have never found this game, and like I understand the shtick of this game.
Mhm.
But I'm never gonna play it. But like I'm gonna recommend that run to everyone. Like it's so
Well,
cool.
I did watch the pinball run, and I
Oh
not
yeah,
good or care that much about pinball. That was fucking awesome.
oh
That was
yeah,
just a good time.
yeah.
So that's a good
Pinball
example of
is
like I'd never played, and I did try out the pinball machine for like 5 minutes, but like
yeah,
I don't care to replay it again. I or whatever, but I can easily be like, dude, that was so good. Anyone can
yeah,
just watch this, and it's interesting too. There's tech, there's like speed strats and pinball. You can like save yourself
yeah,
from death. Crazy. So yeah,
yeah,
I guess that's my example of that. But usually I don't watch anything unless it's like unique enough to be captivating. I won't watch something unless someone I know is like running or it's a
yeah.
game I really care about, which
Your
is not
parents
very
mentioning
frequently.
Frankenstein. I didn't watch Frankenstein. I'll need to check
Uh,
that out
yeah,
later.
yeah. When I go to GDQ nowadays, I'm like rarely in the stream room. There have been some events where I've been in there quite a
Yeah,
bit just because there was a lot of like content I cared about that happened to be there. It really depends, but I'm very much I'm there for the people, not really the game.
yeah,
And if
yeah.
I'm
Usually,
and if it's the game, like that, it's very rare that a game interests me. So that's
yeah.
just a rare
Usually I'll
situation.
watch runs if I'm like hanging in a hotel room with someone. Like that's
Yeah,
usually like
like
the
I'll fall asleep with the stream
most
on,
frequent.
or
Yeah,
yeah,
those are
if
when I
if I'm
see
like at a room
the
party,
hits.
we'll have the stream on and like be watching it.
Yeah,
But yeah, the stream room's a different vibe. I want to be like locked in
yeah.
if I'm in there, and I usually don't
Honestly, I
care.
never. Yeah, like that is literally not even the draw to go.
Yeah,
Uh,
like no one goes to
like it's cool
GDQ to
to
watch the stream.
it's cool to be in the stream room when like you have a friend running and you're like chilling on
Yeah,
the back couch. Like I think
and when
that's
it
like
is a
the
game you
main
care about,
time.
yeah, and
Yeah,
especially like being in there for the finales and some
yeah,
of the like side
like the
stuff,
milestones.
the
Yeah.
milestones, the unique stuff. But yeah,
Well,
I'm always there for just like friends runs
I
usually.
remember the first event that got to $3 million.
Mm.
Um, so funny thing, I remember missing. Uh, I guess this was an SGDQ at some point. I remember either missing or just not being around for the 2 million, and I remember being like sad about that.
Mm.
And then when it got to 3 million, that event, I was in the room, and the atmosphere was like so electric. Like
Yeah, yeah,
everyone was so excited after after it got to like I think it was like 2.8 mil or something. Like it just the ball just kept rolling, and like that was like the loudest, most excited room that I've ever seen.
yeah.
Uh,
I could be raw. No, I actually don't remember what the first event to hit 3 million was. My brain wants to tell me SGDQ 2019, and it wants to tell me that because that is the one event since I started going that I've missed so far since SGDQ 2018. So that would be
yeah,
fitting. But
I think it might have been.
yeah, I think it might have been. If only there was
And
like if someone was archiving this kind of
VOD,
information
yeah.
and could find
Oh
that
my god,
out easily. But
I love GDQ VODs. Like whoever runs GDQ VODs, like
okay,
good on them for doing it for free. Um,
GDQ VODs is cool. I keep having website issues. Like you'll have to refresh the page constantly to load content.
yeah,
The ads are kind of annoying. Like I get why there's ads, but it's just kind of
yeah,
annoying. But there's they're missing some side events that are I think important. There's no interstitials, there's no panels or tournament. If only
yeah.
someone was working on something that archives
Oh
all of that
yeah,
other
there you
stuff,
go.
that'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool. But
yeah. Shout outs to you for doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's yeah there was just something about that event where it was like when when it was getting closer, I think there was like usually like uh once it gets to like a certain point, um I think I had left at some point after 2 million to go. I think watched one of like it was like Toy Story 4 or something. I'm pretty sure.
oh, like the actual
uh
movie.
like the actual movie because I remember going to a movie theater, coming back, and then it was like 2.7 million when I came back, and I'm like, wait, what
what
happened?
the fuck?
And then and then it got to 3 million. I'm like, I was like freaking out. What happened? Uh, and yeah, I'm sure it'll eventually go to 3 mil again, and that'll be super exciting.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, if
Yeah.
and when it does, because I feel like 2 mil still very exciting, but like three
Yeah.
mil is like that times 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with 2.5 million consistently each
Yeah, two and a
time.
half
Can't
million is amazing.
can't really argue with
Like I don't
that.
know,
But
yeah, I don't think anyone's complaining about that.
I was in the room for SGDQ 2022's 3 million. That was like stalled for half
Yeah,
an hour to reach, but
yeah, that
it was still
I
fun.
yeah
It was still
I
fun.
I don't like stalling,
No, I know, but like,
especially
oh,
yeah,
it was fine.
especially when they're just on like the break screen. Like hook
Yeah, that's
something
fair.
else
They
up.
could have maybe figured something out, but like, I don't know. Being in the room was kind of fun for it because you're like,
Because then you get to
you
see,
get the
yeah.
slow burn, like the come on, come on, come on. It was fun.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was also. So I remember I switched from taking pictures to taking video of it. I think that was when they did like a quick swap on stage too. Like they were getting ready for the finale, and they're like, "No, we got to set up for the run."
I don't.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't remember. I
yeah,
just know
I would need to
they
take a look.
they hella stalled for it, but it worked out. They got their three
Stalling.
mils.
Yeah,
It could have been worse.
yeah.
Like yeah, um, I don't think that's like a problem you'd see nowadays, but it wasn't that much of a problem in the first place.
I think from like a audience, like
Audience
a
cool,
online
sure.
audience,
Maybe
yeah. But like
viewer
for chat,
more annoying,
yeah.
but
I think it's really annoying for viewers. Like,
that's fair. I'm speaking as someone that was in the room, so
yeah,
my experience was different than 99.9% of people.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
I guess that's fair. But I don't notice that problem with like
Yeah,
modern. Not that that wasn't that modern, but like nowadays, I haven't really noticed any sort of like
yeah,
stalling issue.
yeah. I don't really see it anymore. Usually, it's just like tech issues
Oh yeah, and even
that I
those have
notice.
been less.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like how many
Still
there were
exist,
this
but
last event.
um,
Yeah, I mean they still happen. Like I think there might have been some like audio issues or something
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point, but that that happens all the
What's
time,
nice is
anyways.
from what I've noticed from archiving the Twitch VODs, um, the stream hasn't like gone out a lot,
Oh,
so
actually,
that's nice.
speaking of the stream going out, there's actually the one run that I always like to mention when someone brings something up like that
Mm.
is Super Mario RPG the OG version
Mhm.
from 2020, AGDQ 2020. Um, that so the power went out at the hotel for that event, but the stream stayed up because of uninterruptible power supplies, UPSs.
Mm.
Um, so I think it's
Oh,
like
wait, was this HDQ 2019, you mean?
or 2019 or 2020. Yeah, and what?
Murder Hallway, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah, it had
2019,
yeah yeah yeah.
2019.
So 2019. Yeah.
The reason I remember this is because I at that event I roomed with Justin Incredible. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So it was
So I
2019.
remember I
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
Listen, I'm old and forgetful. Okay, I don't know.
I I
But
I am my memory is weird. I remember useless
but
nonsense,
yeah.
but yeah.
So that I mean, this is not useless because yeah. So the power went out during that run.
Hmm.
But everything stayed up except for like the lights that were on stage. So
I feel like I
um,
remember this, but
yeah, it's like 20 minutes into the run, 20
where
to 30 minutes into the
where
run.
would I have been? I wasn't
For
in the
anyone that
stream
wants to
room
scrub
for
it.
it.
Yeah.
Oh no,
No.
maybe I was like at the venue and I'm trying to remember. I yeah, okay. See, I remember some
Y-
things, but not everything. I
yeah.
don't I don't
But
remember where I was when the power went out, but
yeah. But Justin remembers
yeah.
because again, so that happened on stage, and yeah, so I mean the stream doesn't go down because fortunately, you know, there's backups for everything. If the
Mhm.
power goes out, if the internet goes out, whatever, like you know, it'll fall back on backups, and yeah, so you know, I implore anyone watching to check out that SMRPG run. Uh, so the lights went out, and then, but that like you know, like the lights shining on you, I guess, or whatever.
Mhm.
But the TV was on, you know, the stream was up, the recording was still up, like,
That's
uh,
nice.
yeah, all of that was up. So like, I think there was like a split second of Justin being like, do I keep going?" And then just kept playing, and eventually, like, the lights for the whole hotel went back on, and they just kept playing.
Yeah.
Um, again, yeah, check out that SMRPG run. It was like, yeah, it was. I think it was like 20 minutes in, if
Okay.
like maybe 30 minutes in.
I just know the
Um,
run was really good in
yeah.
general, and I think it's one of the most viewed like YouTube clips
Oh
or
yeah,
like not clips, but like YouTube videos on the GDQ
yeah,
channel. I think it's
probably.
one of the most popular ones. So, yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
pretty good run.
those long, like a lot of those like long, like RPG runs are up there for like the most viewed, which
Mm.
is wild that people will have that much time to
Well,
watch a VOD.
Mario RPG is under 3 hours, which is pretty good for an RPG.
Yeah,
So, plus it has a lot of platforming. So,
yeah, that's the good thing about it.
yeah, no, that run has always been interesting. Not to like do myself, but I do love watching that run because it is
Uh,
very technically impressive.
yeah,
Because, I think that introduced the whole like you have to push buttons to like perform actions in the actual turn
in
battles.
battle, yeah,
And obviously there's the big like hit like a
super
hundred
jumps,
3 frame window
super
jumps in a
jumps,
row
yeah,
or your run sucks. It's cool. It's a good run. I like that run. Anyway,
yeah, and if the power goes out, you can still do the run. So
yeah,
uh,
apparently.
yeah. I honestly I don't think there are that many other times that like power's gone out.
No,
I
but
I do
you can't
remember
continue the run when the fire
the
alarm
fire.
goes on. Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
We were going the
So
same
wait, did that?
place.
So I guess that happened in the last two events because that happened at
Yes.
HDQ also.
It happened twice at HDQ. I was
Yeah.
not there the first time, but I was the second time because it was during the finale.
Yeah.
So everyone's just outside, and this is Pittsburgh in January, so it's like 30
Yeah. It was
degrees Fahrenheit,
cold. Yeah.
and everyone's freezing their ass off. And I remember while I'm out there, I see ADEF, and I just said, "Hey, great run so far, man."
uh,
It's so funny. But I had my jacket and gloves with me, so I lucked out. Everyone else was
uh,
freezing. I was
yeah.
kind
How
of chilling.
I was about to
I
say
was
how
kind of
many
chilling.
people? Yeah. How many people were you hanging around that were like freezing?
Most people, most people were not having a good time. But yeah, It apparently happened
Now,
earlier in the event too. I was not there for that.
why? So obviously most people are probably like coming down from their hotel room. So why did you have your jacket on you? Like, do you remember? Like, were you going out, or were you just out
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
just came
Because
back in?
I wasn't staying at the hotel, so at any time I was at the
Oh,
hotel, I had all my stuff.
you had all your stuff.
Hmm.
See, well, jokes on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jokes
Yeah.
on everyone else for staying at the hotel.
Haha.
Yeah, that. Uh, yeah, I had only heard about that because I had to drive back home because I had to do the
Mm.
hotfix show the day after. Um,
Yeah. Well,
but I,
yeah, it happened at this past event too. I don't know
yeah,
how intrusive it was to the stream, but it was weird because at AGDQ the alarm was like a slide whistle, and you can hear it in the stream. It's just like
yeah,
ooh, ooh, and it sounded so
yeah.
weird. And this one was like a voice came out on the speaker and was like, "There is a problem on your floor. Please exit now." Like it doesn't say fire, so I was like
Yeah, but
thinking,
then
"What is there an
also,
active shooter?" I was like kind of freaking out a little bit,
yeah,
but
but then people got to like the second floor or whatever, and it wasn't going
yeah,
on
and it
that
wasn't
floor. It
going
was
off in
like,
the lobby or anything.
so do I just stop here? Like,
Well, again, I was on the
uh,
5th floor, right, which is the first like
yeah,
where the hotel rooms start.
yeah.
And it like the voice on the intercom said like on your floor, so I was like, "Oh, this is a problem
Uh,
only on this floor." So
yeah.
as we're going down, but then people from the 3rd floor were coming down too, and I was like, "Uh-oh, 3rd floor is where the stream
You're
is.
like, how? You're like, which floors are it?
What's happening?" And then you get to the bottom and everyone in the lobby is just like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I don't fucking know."
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah, it was people apparently really love pulling fire alarms. I don't know.
yeah,
It's really annoying. But
yeah.
it did make that
I.
good meme. Everyone always posts the, before GDQN, anyone admit you have a crush or whatever. And I just remember after AGDQ, it was before the AGDQN, anyone want to pull the fire alarm?
Oh my
It's just
goodness.
really funny.
No.
They got one good meme out of it, but yeah, like, uh,
That's I'm glad we don't have to deal with that, hopefully, anymore.
well,
At least for another 6 months.
okay, fair. You never know, I guess.
Actually, there was I remember there was a TwitchCon that had a fire alarm too,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. It was
Why?
during, I think, Super Metroid. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
wait. Is that what?
Yeah, I think there was another
Oh.
fire
That
alarm
was
during that.
TwitchCon 2024. There was a Super Metroid run, and
Yes,
I
yeah, yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
Yes, yeah,
I was there for that then too. Just I guess wasn't at the venue because yeah, remember that was supposed to be day two, and they moved it to
yeah.
the run before finale, which was my
Yeah, they
run,
moved it
and they were
because
like,
yeah.
"This is definitely the first time this has happened." And I was like, "All right,
Yeah.
okay, that
Yeah,
was a
that was
fire alarm."
yeah,
Okay,
that was a fire alarm again.
what the fuck?
So,
Why people love pulling fire alarms at speedrun events?
yeah. That's at TwitchCon. Like, I don't trust the average Twitch
Sure, but
viewer to
I feel like
not do
that
it. Like,
was done, like, in that area, right?
yeah.
So,
No,
uh,
no, no. That was the whole convention
that was
center.
the
They
whole
had to clear out the
convention?
whole convention center,
Where the fuck was I?
if I remember.
Had I had left already? Because I feel like I would have remembered this.
No, I definitely remember
No,
people.
I think you're right. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
no, I
remember what the
definitely
fuck
remember
I was
people.
doing at the time. Because this doesn't ring a bell to me, and I would have been there. But maybe I'd
Yeah,
already left? I don't know. Maybe I was getting dinner or something.
yeah, you're like, I don't care about Super Metroid.
I've seen it enough. I get the gist,
Are
but
you are you someone that likes saving the animals or killing them?
well, whatever whatever is needed on that day, I guess. I don't know. I don't have strong feelings one way or the
Incorrect.
other.
Save the frames. Save the frames every single time.
I don't know. I mean,
Kill them. Kill
all
them.
right, fair enough. I really just
That's
don't care.
that's my
You
thoughts.
can do whatever you want.
I mean, I don't run Super Metroid, but I don't know. I always like picking, so,
Yeah, fair.
you know.
But I have never had to pick. If I had to pick, I probably would say frames. But I really just don't care one way
You
or the
just
other.
want it to be 50-50.
I'm
Yeah.
indifferent. Like, yeah, let the people who really care fight over it. I'll just
Yeah, if it raises more money, then
yeah,
let's
I'll let
let's
the
bring it
people
to
that care
50-50.
fight for it. I don't care,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna pretend I do. Anyway,
I just like being slightly faster.
yeah. Keep talking about random bullshit. I feel like I should. There's something I haven't really talked to you about yet that I feel like we should really cover because we
All
talked about
right, well,
hotfix a lot, but
go for it.
you ran a show on hotfix.
I did.
You did.
I also used to host game masters.
Yes,
But
that's
my original idea was testing grounds, where it was games that have been released in the last 90 days, trying to encourage people to play them
oh.
and run them, and trying to get them to, you know, show off their strat discoveries, encourage people to actually play it. Funny thing is, actually, so one of the games that I did have on that was Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and the one of the, I guess not the current world record holder, but like one of the world record holders started playing that game because of having it on that show, and they saw that show.
Mm.
Um, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, in general, because a lot of new games, you know, they're just getting their, uh, you know,
Yeah.
they're
It's
just getting started.
it's good like promotion early
Yeah.
on. Yeah, no, makes
Um,
sense.
I I think the problem was a lot of people were like, "Oh, I haven't played this game yet,
Mm.
so I'll check this out later."
Yeah, don't want to get spoiled
uh,
before I play it type deal.
Because that's the thing. It's like, it'll take people a few months to actually buy a game and then finally play it.
Which is
So,
funny because not quite to that extent, but this idea was kind of adapted into the actual GDQ events with their second submission period for only newer
yeah,
releases. But
yeah, but I mean, that is still more time.
it is
Like,
more
that's not
time,
like
but
like, honestly, most of the things that I had on were like a month.
oh,
Like,
okay, like
and a month
that.
is definitely not enough time,
Yeah, no, that's a
Um,
bit wild, but
Because like that's only 4 weekends worth for like an average person. If you're thinking like, most people have to work most days of the week, they're only going to have, 8 days to play and beat a game. Like that's
mhm,
not enough time for them to want to check it out as like a speed run, right?
yeah. But
Um,
even like the few months the new submission period has is still like I can see people not watching those out of like, oh, I'm not ready yet. Like it's good for the
yeah.
stream when it's already like up and running, I guess. But
Also, an interesting thing that I noticed from just the speedrun community as a whole is people that start playing a game and like running it aren't always the people that are going to stick with the game full out like
mm,
as it progresses. So there are people that just like finding strats and like, like glitch hunters out there where they're the ones that discover things, but they're not going to be the ones grinding things down and like playing it long term. They're just like, "Oh, I found this like, new game. I want to be the first to find whatever cool new thing."
mm,
And it was actually a part of the community that I hadn't really been exposed to previously from that, where it was more like, oh, these people, they'll play any new game just because they want to like find stuff. Which I mean is totally fair, right? Like,
yeah.
there's some people that like grinding runs. There's some people that just like, running their character into a wall in hopes that they out of bounds. Like there's different types of people that like doing these different kinds of things. And I thought it was, yeah, just a neat, interesting way to like see, oh, okay, like you kind of see these names pop up again whenever a new game comes out. It's like, yeah, that's because they're just trying to break it. And
They like the ground floor, and when you have a show
yeah,
that's literally the ground floor.
yeah, and that's also why you have people that really like randomizers, right? Like they don't like grinding out the game, but they like playing a randomizer because it gives them a routing challenge. Like it's
Mm,
kind of like the same idea where it's like people have this kind of interest in in when they're playing a game, and then other people are like, no, I just want to do the exact same muscle memory movement over and over again. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that show lasted for like half a year or whatever,
Oh, okay.
and then it was time to say goodbye. But it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Uh, yeah, and then originally I had hosted Game Masters, and then Air Angel and Kiara took it over. Um, because I moved to just more doing behind the scenes stuff, which probably suits me better, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it's it's difficult keeping up conversation um, all the time. I mean, you know that having to do this every week, it's
Yeah.
sometimes it's pulling teeth trying to do that, trying to keep things flowing.
Yeah. No, yeah. I get it's hard to do things, especially me who was already like bad at doing these things.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have a bunch of these under your belt, you know.
Yeah, I've
Again,
got.
go.
I'm not gonna pretend it makes me an expert because I don't feel
Let's
like one, but I mean,
put in the reps in.
I have been building up my skills, I guess, in a way, even though I usually don't do most of the talking anyway.
So,
So,
actually, one of the questions I have for you, this is episode 180, but you have an episode 0 technically with
yes.
yourself.
Hmm.
So, are you exempt from your own rule? Like, are you ever going to have just yourself on again?
No.
If that is okay, so
Well, okay.
because if you count that as episode 0, then you are exempt from it because you haven't had yourself on, right?
Well, I consider episode 0 a real episode, but it was also like
Yeah,
the what do they call it? The pilot,
just
like
yeah,
this is what this
the
is gonna
intro.
be like, but I'll just do myself because why not? But I don't know. Maybe if I ever decide to end this, the last episode could be me, but with
Or
all
like
of the
episode
experience
1,000.
built up from before. That could be fun. I just think about this now, by the way. Like, but
Yeah, episode 1,000 has 3 zeros in it, so
yeah. So
it's
like,
kind of like it could be like full circle. Uh,
anyway,
do you?
oh, sorry. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, yeah, I was just curious. Do you know like how difficult is it for you to keep finding people? Obviously, like 200's nothing to scoff at, and are you ever like regretful that you're like, oh, I got this person on that you know may- maybe I could have had on later and like
Yeah.
gotten a little bit more info from them or anything like that.
Yeah, I've definitely had people on early on enough where they've even told me like, "Damn, I wish you had me on like 2 years later where I've done all this shit now." And I'm like, "Yeah, it happens, but I'm not the only one podcasting. There are other opportunities for
Yeah.
them to tell more stuff." Yeah, my point on here is like variety. I want new people every time because I don't know, just makes sense in that way. Um, in terms of that being difficult, luckily the community's big enough where it's not that hard. But I've had like scheduling conflicts or trouble locking in certain days before. Like I'm a frequent Blue Sky poster of help, desperate, need people. But for the next few weeks, I've actually got it all planned out already. Like I gotten pretty lucky recently. So
Do you have any teasers for us?
teasers, I try not to tease.
Oh
We leave it a surprise for the people,
yeah.
but
So
I do have
yeah.
people
So
locked in already.
what I'm curious about is so from again with your
Okay.
nearly 200 guests now,
Mhm.
like do you feel like having been around in the community, like something I've noticed as I've like been around the community for this long, I've noticed like now I'm seeing, what I like in my mind, like these are the quote unquote like younger runners that are now coming in.
Hmm.
Like I feel like you've been around for, nearly a decade now. Like I feel like you've got to have noticed it. It's like now
Yeah.
I'm just like the old man, It's like
Well, I got that with Mario 1 like within 2 years almost.
yeah.
because I remember when the name Nifsky first popped up, right? And that was in like
Yeah.
2019 when I had only been around for 2 years, and I was already like, "What the hell? What are these youngsters doing to our community? Why are they so fucking good? What do you
Yeah.
mean all of my records are gone now?" But yeah, so I got because when a game is as popular as that, you get it pretty early on. Like you're not going to be on top for any
Yeah.
game. You're not going to be on top forever, and when it's like one of the most popular and easy to get into speedruns of all time, that's not going to last long at all. So I got
Yeah.
my comeuppance really early on. So I guess that helped in a way. Um, but yeah, it also kind of just made me feel old when I was like 22. So now I'm 27 and I'm going
Yeah.
gray and I feel
Yeah. Now
like
you're
actually
noticing
grandpa, but yeah.
yeah, now all the people that are running things are like, now they're like in college, wrapping up college. I'm like, what
Yeah.
happened here?
But what
What
is
happened?
funny is like all of those high school, even in sometimes middle school youngsters that came in that made me feel that way are still the people that are at the top. So maybe I was
Yeah.
just forever meant to be washed, but
No, but in 10 years time they'll be the washed ones,
maybe we'll see. But
Uh
I had my run. I had It's weird though because I was the kind of person that when I was at my peak, uh, people outside the community, like the Mario 1 community, I feel like didn't really know who I was. And now I feel like after I had lost all of that and that's all behind me, now people are like, "Wait, you
now
used
they
to be
know,
good."
yeah.
Now we'll have you on
Damn.
GDQ,
Now the slander starts,
now that
yeah.
you're washed, now you can come on the shows.
Oh, we gotta give Grandpa a chance, all right?
But I mean, it's worked
uh,
out for me, so I'm not gonna complain. It's just funny how it worked out. But
yeah, I just noticed it's just kind of like been a shift of like, oh, okay, yeah, now it's just all these other people are grinding games, and good on them.
yeah,
I'm done. I'm done.
it actually helped me because it made me realize that at least nowadays I care more about, as we were talking about earlier, I care more about the showcase side of things rather than the
Yeah.
grind. I get more satisfaction from that nowadays. So, but I would like to make my stream consistent again and do something because that I have put like not been consistent for like 2 years at this point. So I need to
Now
lock in.
speaking of showcases, so I did a Tetris 99 showcase last year at SGDQ,
Hmm.
and I had a lot of fun because I didn't run the game. I didn't
Yeah,
have there. I
was
didn't
that
have
your
the pressure.
first like GDQ run?
I have 100% acceptance rate at events because I've only ever submitted that in my whole time
Eh,
here
Oh, okay.
doing anything. I've only submitted Tetris 99 for like an HGDQ, SGDQ, and I got it in. So I
So
don't think
that
I'm ever
was
gonna
your
submit anything again.
so that
That's my
was your one and only
100%.
GDQ run.
Like that's. I
Wow.
mean, I've run on like hotfix or
Well,
whatever
yeah, yeah. I mean,
plenty of
sorry,
times. So like,
main line.
yeah, yeah, that's my only mainline submission that I've ever done, and I got in.
Wow.
So
That's pretty wild actually.
not touching it again unless I have a really good. I want to maintain my 100%.
Yeah. I know
Because
you've done like
actually,
plenty of comms and stuff, but yeah,
yeah,
as far
when I
as
did
running,
that,
wow.
I remember I control F'd and looked for Tetris in the submissions, and there weren't any, and I'm like, I think this has a pretty good shot because
Mm,
it was, it was right after. I guess it's like, the year after the Switch 2 comes out or whatever, and or no, it was a couple months
no, yeah,
after,
it was like
and
a
so,
month after,
it was like 2 months after,
1 or 2
and
months.
so it was like, okay, I think this has a pretty good chance because like people would be, subscribing to Nintendo
Hmm.
to, with their Switch 2s or whatever, like gives opportunity for audience participation. Uh and with the stream delay, like it's more likely that people in the stream room would get on. And I
Hmm.
thought that was a cool, like, what I wish would happen is if 99 people in the stream room were playing. I think that would be
Yeah.
super cool. I know that's like highly impossible because some people are just slow at typing the numbers in or whatever for the room codes. But
Hmm. No, you
You know,
could
we got a
hide the
good
screen to everyone
20.
but the stream room, technically.
Yeah, I did want like that like wow factor of like some people online get in though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but as as a showcase itself, I played okay for one of the games. I got third in one of the games,
Yeah.
so that's better than the last time Tetris 99 was shown off. Uh, and yeah, I thought it was a neat thing
Yeah.
to be able to showcase, and I don't think so. We've talked a little bit about like grinding runs. I don't think I would ever. I'm trying to think if like I would ever play a game enough anymore to submit a run anymore.
Mm.
Like
You had your
I
one and
just said,
done. It's over.
like I think if I did submit something again, it would probably be something that's like a unique thing like that. It's
Okay.
like something that can get an audience going, or like something that people could say, "Oh yeah, that was like unique and different." Um,
Yeah,
Instead of
join
just doing
Mega
like a
Man
run.
6.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
speaking of, I mean, when I was talking about the first one I ever watched was Mega Man 6. That was Tarek Chelny and Papata HDQ 2018. So
Yeah,
you could have been there
that's
too, but you weren't.
that's correct. Uh, and for you know, yeah, just how King J had his 70-person relay, just do a
Mm.
46 Robot Master, 46-person relay.
Oh, people
Someone else
would
have
have that would
Terex
be
get
far
on that.
harder for people to learn, but
Terex get on that.
true. But yeah, that'd be a lot harder for people to learn.
That'd be funny.
It would be funny. Um, but yeah, no, the Tetris 99 thing was cool, but uh, well, what since we're talking about Tetris now, obviously something happened very recently, but also when it comes to Game Masters, the show that you ran, your first episode was Tetris. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I had a bunch. I had three different Tetris showcases. I remember, because we had classic Tetris, and we also had a couple modern Tetrises on there.
Hmm.
And I remember organizing that show, and yeah, the late great Jonas Neubauer
Hmm.
graciously accepted being on. Rest in peace. But also, you know, thank him for getting the opportunity to just play and talk. A lot of people saw him play, but didn't have a much opportunity for him to talk. And that is again something that I do like a lot about Hotfix, where it's like you get to hear people gush about the game or games that they love a lot,
Hmm.
and that was one of those times where I remember he'd even convinced James Chen, who's like a fighting game commentator, to like
Yeah.
come on and comms and talk. And it's like this guy's professionally like a commentator, and he's just doing this for fun, for free to come on and talk. And I'm like,
If
thanks
I'm
so much for doing that.
if I'm remembering this right, I forget who told me this, but that was the first time James Chen really did Tetris, and now he's like one of the faces you see at every CTWC doing
Nah,
commentary, but he started from that GDQ show.
nah, he'd done a couple
Had he?
Tetris
I
events
know he had
before
done
that.
like
Yeah.
really old, but I mean like the return, I guess. Maybe I'm
Oh
wrong.
yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Like,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I know like super early, like early 2010s, like when it first started, he was involved. I forget exactly how, probably just commentary, but there was like cosplay involved in one of the clips I saw. I don't know. This is
Yeah,
well before my time, obviously, but I thought
yeah,
that
no,
was like the return to form. I could be just spewing nonsense, but I
yeah,
remember
no. He
someone telling me
definitely
about
did.
this.
He definitely did some before, because that's how he
Yes.
knew Jonas in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first place, and that's why they had asked him to come on and commentate, anyways.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, super cool to just get a chance for him, and then Joseph
Hmm.
JDMFX to come on and talk while playing Tetris. They were playing against each other, but it wasn't like no stakes
Yeah,
involved.
this the crazy stakes that come with that,
It's just a
especially because this was after the like the big
Yeah.
Joseph took down the 6-time champ, 10 million
Yeah,
view.
exactly.
Holy shit. That was
Yeah.
like the defining CTWC shift.
And
That's
then
what really got people interested.
a year later, 2021, they're like, okay, now everyone's rolling. So
Yeah, now everyone's rolling.
yeah, and now yeah, both of them are you know DAS and hyper tapping on the way out.
Well, I mean,
So
Joseph came back recently. He was gonna be at CTWC, but had a like family
yeah,
emergency or something.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
he is still playing.
Probably
So,
next year. Yeah,
and obviously Jonas would still be playing. I
yeah.
almost guarantee because I don't think there's anything that man loved more than the Tetris community. But
Tetris community is pretty great
no,
because
no, it's
you know
fantastic. I mean, obviously, I'm a late adapter into it, but thanks to our Mario 1 tournament, like I was talking about pace earlier, we had to move and they moved it to where CTWC happens. So I got
yeah.
to see it for the first time because we finished our tournament before the finals and I was like, "Holy shit.
I
I
remember I
get it
saw you on
now."
stream.
Yeah,
I remember
well,
I saw you on stream. I'm like, damn, you
yeah,
got a front row seat.
yeah, that was this year. Last year is when I got introduced to it for the first time. And I had seen
No,
the Saw
this year I was
video.
like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Like you're like right there in
Mhm.
front of the action.
Yeah, I'll explain that. But yeah, the Summoning Salt video that came out got me interested in the scene a little bit more. And but
Yeah.
yeah, being able to be at CTWC just because it happened to be in the same room as our shenanigans. Yeah, that pushed me over the edge just like, wow, this shit is awesome. Plus there's a there was a top Mario like had the Lost Levels world record named Eyeball. And if you're familiar with Tetris, you've probably heard the name since he's like one of the best
Yeah.
Tetris players. So that connection helped a bit. But yeah,
So you're just like cheering them on.
yeah, yeah, he had the Yell squad. I was part of the Yell squad, but like all those people were the Mario 1 people. Anyway,
Yeah.
I remember when I first went last year, I was talking to a bunch of the top Tetris people and they were saying like they knew who I was. And it was like they don't need to know who I am, but they do. So it's like that's cool. Alex T told me I was the first Mario speedrunner I ever watched. Which is so and he's means like
Damn.
2019, like, before
Yeah.
I even know who I was, like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And he was, like, name dropping people that haven't streamed in, like, 6 years. I was like, "Holy sh this kid knows ball, that's
and they're
crazy."
like and they're like the goat of Tetris, you know.
Yeah,
It's like
and then Blue Scooty actually has run Mario 1. And then I think Dogs
so what
Alta
you're
Count
saying is you're allowed to say you're better than Blue Scooty.
yeah, I
That's
am.
yeah,
That
that's
I
all
can
you
say
need
that.
to know.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's cool because, yeah, so Blue Scooty has run and has like a really big interest in Mario 1. Like he streamed it a couple times. And then Dog's alt account is literally instead of Dog playing Tetris, Dog playing SMB1. So I, I've never seen him play the game, but apparently he does
But the
because
alt,
why
the
else would
alt.
that be his alt account? But anyway, so I joke about that. So there's a big like overlap between SMB1 speedrunning and Tetris. I don't know why, but there is. So
NES players already got an NES, all right?
yeah,
So they got
I mean,
Tetris, so they could just swap carts.
yeah, it worked out for me. It made connecting with the Tetris community a little easier. And then, you know, so to bring the story around to now, yeah, Dog made it to the finals and he wanted the Mario 1 people to like cheer him on. So that's why you saw me in the background.
I-
We were put there on purpose. So to the dismay of all the viewers and people that were like front row where we were covering the screen, but that's why we kind of like
oh
sat
my god,
down and waited.
I was popping off. I'm like, damn.
But yes, I
I'm
was
like,
there.
damn, someone I know is on the front row, basically.
That was me. But
Yeah.
anyway, also last year Toast went to SGDQ and that's how I met him and he was telling me ideas of like it'd be really cool to like do something with classic Tetris at GDQ and I was like, "Let me make
It's
some
true.
calls." And by
Yeah.
that I mean I had recently interviewed Conception for my show. I think like HDQ had just ended and I was reminded of this idea and I was like, let me talk to him. So I said like, here, can I give you the contact of a guy that might want to run some Tetris stuff? And he was like, sure. So I had them talk. And then that led to what we know of the classic Tetris tournament at SGDQ and the finals on the main stage. That's how that all
Yeah,
started. So thanks to my connection,
it's
like,
all your
I did
fault.
all the work where I said, "Hey,
It's
you
all
and
your
you
fault.
talk," and that's all I did. So I get the credit for everything. No, I did none of the work and get all the credit. Definitely, that's definitely
There
how
you
that
go.
works. But yeah, I'm really happy that
And
worked out.
that resulted. So that talk also resulted in a rollover world record that was
Yes,
set
that's
during the
right.
hotfix show.
I had recently saw a video talking about that because I got my recommended since I started watching Tetris content. Like, meme got a world record at GDQ. I was like, I don't remember that happening. Hello, and I was like, oh, it was the qualifiers. But you were there. You got to see
Yeah,
world record live. That was
and it
real.
wouldn't have happened if you hadn't sent
Yeah.
over
Again,
Toast.
it was all
So really, it's
me. It
kind
was
of
all
your
me.
fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why your name's not part of that world record.
Yeah. No, that's my world
Because
record. In fact.
she wouldn't have played that game if it wasn't for you
Yeah. Just
messaging Toast to message Conception.
yeah. It's just
So yeah, really, it's all your fault.
yeah.
What if that world record is held for a long time too? Like,
Yeah. I mean.
yeah, that's not easy to get. You know,
Meme's the kind of person I feel
up
like she could beat that
1.6 mil.
very easily if she wanted to, given that was like done in a like tournament. Obviously, like the
That was her first
qualifiers.
game
Yeah,
of that day too.
true.
Like,
Like yeah, I don't think it's gonna stand forever, knowing how good people are. But
yeah,
I
but
mean, yeah, that
if
did
it stands
happen.
for a long time, that'd be
Yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah, and
That
it's
you can just say that.
yeah, like I'm the reason this happened.
It is.
Well,
So
if we want to jump through hoops in a way, but like I'm not gonna literally take credit for
you
everything.
single-handedly grabbed the controller and pressed the pieces to make that
Yeah,
happen.
sure. But no, yeah, I mean, I have been credited as like the reason the whole Tetris thing happened by Toast himself. This isn't me being an
Yeah,
like a
it is
self-abiding
your fault.
asshole or whatever, but I don't want to take really credit for it because I didn't do any of like the actual hard work. Toast did all the hard work where it's like Toast did so much work for that. Like it's actually
Yeah, he
crazy.
did.
Um the whole all the setups I'm pretty sure were his. He did the commentary. He
Yeah, the
played and
whole
like placed
tournament.
well,
Yeah,
did the brackets, did everything for that, then commentated the main thing. I know Cronus did quite a bit of work too, but Toast was like the main guy. And I mean, he approached
I
me
mean,
with
Toast
the
is.
idea and I was like, here, talk to this person. That was my involvement. So like he really did everything.
Yeah, Toast definitely did a lot, most of the organizing too, because like Kronos submitted just Tetris as a whole.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't know that was gonna happen, which is really funny because like Toast came to me with the idea last year, and then it was floating in
yeah,
my head, and I finally acted on it when I was talking to some games committee people. And then they get that all worked out and submitted, and then I'm checking the submissions to see, and I see the Tetris thing, and I'm like, oh cool. He actually submitted it, they talked it through, and it looks like this is gonna happen. And then I see a separate submission with Kronos with also classic Tetris, but then like a Tetris showcase with other things. And I was like, oh shit, I don't think he was
yeah,
involved in this. And like had the same, like not the exact same idea, but like the idea to submit classic Tetris showcase. And I was like, uh-oh. But I guess it
yeah.
worked out.
But it all
So
worked out.
it all
So
worked out. So everyone's happy.
yeah, meme just 3-0'd. It's fine.
Meme three
So
O's. I
no
mean,
big
that's
deal.
what she does. It's
Yeah,
really
she's got a
nice
crack.
because I'm pretty sure like Meme and Huff are an item. So like worked out for them. They would
Yeah,
have been
but
happy for each other either way. And then Huff
yeah,
got to
but
win the like the other thing, so like it was
uh,
actually just perfect.
it's a wash. Yeah,
I would
kind of have
have
to
preferred
play
a 3-2 just because I would have liked some more
more
Tetris
Tetris.
content, but
Yeah,
like it was still a good showing. I was very
yeah,
happy with the turn. I got to be on the back couch with
yeah. I
like
think it
three
was
other
good.
Tetris goats, and then there was just me. I got to feel so cool.
Yeah. Uh, I remember. So all four of the qualifiers from that Hotfix qualifier were in that last set of
Hmm.
games, and so I remember Rhubarb was like fifth place, but still came to the event anyway. Um,
Yeah.
and like that was the ringer in like the open bracket for everyone else, because everyone else just like casually played or whatever.
Yeah, I was in his qualifying time. So like, there are a ton of people qualifying, then 4 people got
Yeah,
a stream slot, and I actually got one. And I put up like a 280,000 or something. My PB,
yeah,
I've never recorded the PB, but I have like a 353K, I think. I could
yeah.
check right now, turn on my console. But so it was funny because I think he was to my right or something on the stream. Or maybe bottom right. I forget exactly. But he was on stream and he was getting like 1.3 millions with rolling and shit. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, I deserve to
yeah.
be here
No,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. Because like, didn't wasn't it like a toast was like the next like highest amount, and that was like
Yeah, and he doesn't
700K or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually I'm
It was
not
like,
sure because or well, I don't remember the other two people that qualified from the stream.
yeah.
Do you remember? You were there.
No, I have no clue.
Okay, great. Well, I guess I don't know the answer to the question I was going to ask, so never mind. But um,
But good on them.
yeah, yeah, no, that was fun. And
I think
then
it's still
I got to hang out with them a little bit. Like we played a little bit in the board game. I got sushi with all of them that night. It was fun.
nice. Yeah, I think it's cool that like there was still like event participation. You know,
That
obviously
turnout
for the
was
finals.
really good for
Yeah,
like I know not a lot of like top level Tetris people were there, but the amount of people interested was Toast said it was like one of the biggest turnouts they've ever had for something like this, like a more
yeah. People
one-off
just want to
event.
play.
Yeah, no,
You know.
I'm really happy it all worked out because, you know,
Yeah, I think it's good too because they could still say like they still got to play.
hmm
And yeah, gives everyone an opportunity. Little sliver of hope that they'll show up on the mainstream. Um, only to get those dashed by
yeah. Well,
the
and
top four from the event code against the top four from the qualifiers. It's like you're fighting an uphill battle, but if your name's Rhubarb, you got a chance.
yeah. Well, and even if you know, most people didn't get on the main stage other than the two we were expecting from the start, but
Yeah,
like a lot of the matches were recorded in the stream room and those VODs were
yeah,
uploaded as well, so at least people got
yeah.
that. I got to do commentary for that, so my dumbass that was my first time commentating Tetris stuff, so my
Oh,
dumbass get
nice.
to be on there. And then
There
yeah,
you go.
my entire qualifiers for the hour are up there and you can watch me suck ass at Tetris for an hour. It's great.
That's me when I remember I was trying to play some classic Tetris in the Tetris Effect version of
Oh
classic
yeah,
Tetris.
they
I'm
have
like,
yeah.
yeah, I really suck at this. Like, it is not anything like modern Tetris.
No, no,
It's
it's
like
very
so,
different, but
it's so hard.
I like the simplicity of it though. I don't like the
Yeah,
RNG factor where you can get droughted for 60 lines and haha, too bad, but I don't know. The simplicity, like one next box, no holding. There's something kind of unique about it compared to the modern that I like. The simplicity and like the better
yeah.
chances for like it's easier to understand from a viewer perspective first of all, and then also like the better chance for like crazier things to happen
I
because you have to use
do,
every
yeah,
piece you get.
I do like the uniqueness of the randomization because I do feel like with modern Tetris, sometimes you are set in your like this is the rest of my bag, so I know what's coming up.
Fair,
And
yeah.
I do like how in classic Tetris you can't think that way. Like it
hmm
makes you have to do things differently instead of knowing in the next 7 pieces I'm getting these 7 again.
Yeah. The
So I
RNG
do like that a lot.
annoyance, I was speaking from a player's perspective, from a viewer
Yeah.
perspective, it makes things really
Yeah.
interesting because
Yeah.
in a tournament, if you're getting a 60-piece drought, they're both getting the drought. They both have to deal with it,
Yeah.
and you're just like, "Oh my god, how are they gonna do?"
Yeah, what are
No,
they gonna
that
do?
shit's fun. That shit's fun as
Yeah.
hell. But I was like internally because I had never done like a Tetris tournament before, and I haven't been playing Tetris really that much. It was just for fun. So, but in the back of my head, I was like, since I had a stream spot, I was like secretly losing my mind, like, these pieces, I don't know what to do with them. I look like such an idiot. This RNG sucks. But whatever.
You want to know what the next level of play that I want to see is for players to be looking at the other players to see what the upcoming pieces are. Like someone to intentionally
Oh, they do that.
like slow. Yeah, but I mean like I I want that to be more like acknowledged in the commentary because I feel like that
Oh,
is like a
okay.
very interesting thing where
I
it's like,
have when I was doing commentary, actually, I made sure to bring that up. And if
okay,
you want a
yeah,
little fun fact for how CTWC's setup is, so the players face each other, right? So there's the
yeah,
TV on either side of them. So they can't see their TV because they're
mm.
not side by side, they're
So they
across
had to
from each
look
other.
up at the actual
No,
projector.
they have a second monitor to their right, another TV, and it's split into that as well so they can see their game.
Yeah, I see.
Like, they do
Okay.
that on purpose because people legitimately use watching the other player's game slightly as a strategy.
Yeah, I feel like that is a cool thing that um yeah, I want to I want to see that continue to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, Tetris is cool.
Yeah.
That
Very
was
fun game.
the Tetris tangent. Um, but I had to say my piece because that's a common thing we can geek out about here. We're
Yeah.
both into the classic Tetris
I
scene.
like speedrunning, like Tetris.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, it's all good.
It all worked out, and it was topical for what just happened at GDQ.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, to
Are
quickly
you
go, oh,
would you ever submit a showcase of any kind? You know,
showcase,
not
yes, I
Tetris
have.
related, but
I have
what
submitted a showcase.
what's some cool ideas? What
Well, I
have you
have
submitted,
one
I guess?
idea, and it is the Super Mario Brothers randomizer because there's a Super Mario Brothers randomizer. What does it randomize? Everything. The sprites can be randomized, the sound effects, the music, the levels, the everything, like literally everything. And it's done in a way where the levels are always beatable. Like it's like
Yeah.
randomizing certain level designs or whatever. But it is the, like, most rando randomizer you can get, but I've always wanted to showcase, like, a blind race. With Cosmic and I have had this idea forever to do that, but now he has, like, a family, so I don't
Yeah.
know. So, like, I think I'd have to do it solo now if I wanna show it off, and I did submit it, but I've submitted it either once or I think just once, and so far it hasn't gotten in, and I did the feedback thing, and they were just like, "We're not sure how we would really show this off yet," but I would be interested in doing
Yet.
that. Yes, yet. I would like to work out a way where we can show this off in the best way possible. So I do yes, I have that.
Yeah.
But, there's a speed run I really wanna do that I feel like now, I'm not games committee and I'm not staff, but I feel like it's almost a guarantee to get in just because it was backup for AGDQ this year. And I submitted it again, but they told me in the feedback they just took Cosmic over me. That's all. That's all it was. So
Damn.
and
Savage.
that's fine. That's fair. That's he is more popular and his run was more unique than mine. But I have a Mario run that also has not it's a mainline Mario game that also hasn't been shown off at a main GDQ yet. And I've showed it off at like 2 hot fixes and it was backup. It's gonna happen, okay? So like
Yeah.
I feel like I've got that in the bag, but I do want to do that showcase as well. I still have a lot of GDQ ideas. So
Okay.
you will hear from me for the next while, whether you like it or not. I
Hey, Dan Salvato submitted Yoshi's story for what, 10 years
10
till it
years.
got in? So you just gotta keep submitting for 8 more years, you
Yeah,
know?
well,
Then you'll
I've
get
already
in
been
easy
pretty
peasy.
lucky, so I'm not gonna complain, but yeah, I know someone this past GDQ that was submitting for 10 years and finally got in too, so, like,
What
it
was
will
it?
happen, maybe.
Yeah, I did you actually get to play the new version of Dance of Auto's game? I guess last
No,
event?
I've only watched it. That's the kinda game I
Okay.
feel like I'd be too angry, and I don't wanna be angry playing Dan Salvato's game.
I played the demo last AGDQ when it was in the practice room. It was fun. And yeah, I
Mhm.
spent like 40 minutes on it.
Yeah,
I
no,
was so I kept dying.
I would watch people play it a lot over the past
Yeah.
couple events because it is fun to watch, but that's the kinda game it's one of those, like I'm not gonna call it a rage game, but you know what I mean, like bullet hell
Yeah.
dodge things
It's
that I'm just like,
difficult.
that's
Yeah.
made to be difficult. Well, not made to be difficult. I know he's specifically made it to be more like accessible, but
Yeah.
for me, it's like no, no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at those types of bullet hell games, but I thought it was fun. Uh
The game is
and
sick though. I mean,
I
and the fact that
am
it
going to
runs on
play it when it comes
Amiga
out.
hardware is
Yeah.
fascinating. So
Uh,
no,
and
no,
you just know it's gonna get into an event eventually after it comes out. Like there's no doubt about it that it's gonna be someone's gonna submit it at some point. It's gonna get in. Um,
yeah.
and like honestly, I found it fun even though I am not a fan of bullet hells. So
Mhm.
that's how
N-
you know it's like a good. I guess he makes good games. Turns out.
Yeah, he makes good games, and I don't like any of them, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
that's fine.
I rem I've had Dan on my show already, and I
Yeah.
told him this story, and he was there obviously, so I didn't know if he remembered or not. But I always tell the story that when I first met him, I think it was at Shiki 2023. I was like, "Hey, I hate your games, because, but like respect your work, hate your games because I don't like
Yeah.
dating sims, and I really don't like psychological horror. So you can imagine."
But he's a
Would
nice
not be a
guy,
fan.
so you
No,
know.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just a little joke I had when I first met,
Also,
but
it's
like I
fun.
remember it.
Yeah, it's also fun because like I feel like that's most people at GDQs, right? It's like you're not gonna hang out with just the people that like the exact same game as you because there's just so many people.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
that's what I have fun about is like learning about new games. I'll
yeah,
like I remember I spent like a night with Dragon Blitz last year or something. He was showing me just random PS1 nonsense, and I had no idea what the fuck I was looking at, but it was fun.
yeah. That's an interesting thing too. It goes back to the fact where I feel like I'm a casual viewer when I'm watching speedrunning
Mhm.
because I don't like most of the games. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna enjoy it. Like
yeah,
I'm fine
I
with
get
that.
that in a sense. But usually I'm still a little strict about it. Like I won't just watch anything and stick with it probably. But I don't know. Most GDQ runs I've ever watched, I've never been like bored by either. So it really
Yeah,
just depends. But usually try to stick to stuff I'm at least familiar with because I feel like I get more out of it.
true. Yeah.
But that's just me. Anyway, to to go back to your Game Master show, because I keep forgetting where the plot is, but
Yeah.
I know you don't host anymore. But how long did you host it? Out of curiosity, do you remember?
It's about a year or
A
so.
year? Because
Yeah.
I don't know if it was my first hotfix. Okay, no, it wasn't my first hotfix appearance, but one of the first ones I did was Game Masters. It was SGDQ. You had just the Mario runners for some reason
Yeah.
from the SGDQ 2020. I don't know why, but because of that, I got to be on hotfix for like the first
There
time
we
with a
go.
mic. I think is what that was for me.
Yeah. Well, and now you're on the mic every
Now I'm on the
Sunday.
mic every Sunday. Yeah, but I just remember that because it was so random. Like you just had the Mario people from SGDQ before the event just play random other shit on hotfix.
Yeah. I
For
one of the things yeah, that's the thing that I want to see from people is like yes, like most everyone's gonna watch AGDQ or SGDQ,
Mm,
in comparison to hotfix. So what I want to show is like, okay, they're all going to watch that run. Like, what else? What else are people working on? Or like, give people an opportunity to like, gush about something else. Um, and especially with game masters, it's like they get to talk more in depth about the game that they're like doing a bunch of stuff, and instead of like if there's an incentive going on, people like hosts are gonna push an incentive or whatever.
mhm.
And so I do actually find a lot of that happens, you know, just due to the fact that like that's kind of the focus of different shows is like you're you're the focus, like the runners are the focus, the game is the focus, and I like that a lot. Where it's okay, let's see what you're doing, because between the event itself, the event replay that happens, like most people's runs that they're doing at an event, like that's going to be shown multiple times. Like we don't need to show that again.
Hmm, yeah. But is Game Masters like the longest running hotfix show?
No, random number generation is so
Oh,
Sky's
is that
show
okay?
is around since 2019.
All right. So the second longest.
So no, because
No.
Igdisis's show is like 3 months older than Game
So
Masters.
the third it's one of the oldest.
Uh, it's it's close. It's close.
Because well, a lot of there's been a lot of shows that have came and went is
Yeah.
my point, and that one has stood for a
Yes.
while. And you were the
Yeah.
were you the one that came up with the conception
So
of
that
that
was
show?
not my yeah, that was not my idea. So that's
Okay.
why it's kind of iffy because like it's also changed hands from me to
Yeah.
like Air Angel and
I
Kiara
know
and
you were
then
the first
Kiara.
host. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it was like your
No, yeah, one of
conception
the
or not.
previous hotfix managers had that idea of
Okay.
basically showcasing off unique things um, in gaming, and specifically like just showcasing off they know a ton about this game. And I feel like
Okay.
the idea has also shifted in that time too, where it's like it's kind of like a variety thing now too,
Mhm.
more of a variety. So yeah, like I think it's shifted in terms of the idea, but it's also yeah, it's like the third longest running, so it doesn't have a big distinction.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, it's cool. That's been around for so long
Yeah,
because again, it's one
yeah.
of
No,
the first
testing
things
grounds
I
though
did.
was my
Yeah.
idea,
Okay.
so that one explicitly was my idea, and I thought it was a pretty baller idea
The
for that.
idea is good. I can
Yeah,
understand why, it might fall flat in some areas, not even from your fault, just like
yeah. Just because people got to play the game
yeah,
first,
like
so
for the
which is
exact
fair.
reasons you were talking about earlier. But
Yeah,
no, 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 the idea is really cool. And again, they
yeah,
in a way sort of adapted it into the mainline scheduling process where they
yeah,
set aside time for newer releases. Not exactly the
yeah.
same, but like that did come later. So,
Yeah, I do think there's some excitement still around new games,
mhm,
and I think it works. So I feel like it works more also for if it's like a platforming game as opposed to like a RPG or story based, anything that's more story based, right? Like
mhm.
platforming game, you're gonna know what you're getting into regardless of if you've beaten it or not.
Yeah. I'm excited for
Um,
Bubsy 4D at AGDQ
yeah,
because it just missed the
people are
release.
more, yeah, people are more likely to tune in for those things as opposed to oh, but there's this, people say the story in, this RPG is so good, like you have to play it. It's like then people aren't gonna watch that.
Yeah.
Um, but if it's like
Like,
Mega Man, like people would watch it.
yeah.
Like Capcom's never gonna make a new Mega Man game. Let's be real. But like
Damn.
if they did, you know, if they decided that they want
Aren't they
to.
literally making a new one right now? Like it was revealed?
I think they like announced something, but like, you know, we're we're left with scraps. All right.
Ne-
Uh,
Yeah, only like, well, Even if you're just talking classic Mega, only like 11 games. Oh no. But
Yeah. No, but like people are more likely to be like, I know what Mega Man is. I would watch that even if it's like a new release, as opposed to like, if if they, made a Expedition 32 or whatever,
yeah, I
Like,
was gonna say I know a lot of people purposely skipped this finale
yeah.
because it was, a game fairly
They,
new, not that new, but
yeah.
like, and it's an RPG with a story that people really like, and it's like don't want to be spoiled. Haven't gotten there yet, so a
Yeah.
lot of people skipped out on the finale that were in person.
Yeah, so that's the thing of like new games. It
Mm.
does depend heavily on the genre. Like RPG, no, but like platformer, sure.
Yep.
Um, so
Again,
yeah,
Bubsy
we'll see.
4D for AGDQ coming
I think
soon.
I don't I think people would watch that.
Dude, well, I befriended Sean Chiplock at that event, and he voices Bubsy, and I was telling him like, this game is going to get in. You should be involved, and I think I succeeded because Witherman is a top level runner of that game, and they apparently got in contact with him and went through a little like kind of run through of what it would be like. So you know, I get again on my little train of doing the bare minimum of helping out with ideas, but I would love that because that would
Yeah,
be fun. Imagine Bubsy commentating a Bubsy run. Tell me that's not good content. I think I'm cooking here.
actually,
Anyway.
speaking of Mega Man, Witherman has commentated Mega Man before
Hmm.
at a PAX event.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Fair.
because I commentated for Cab doing a run, Mr. Cab doing a
Mr.
run.
Cab,
And
Mr.
then
Hat.
I think Witherman had asked to commentate too.
That's fun.
So we're like, yeah, jump on in. I don't think Witherman ran Mega Man 4. I
Well,
mean, I haven't run Mega
that's
Man
not
4
a
either, but
that must have been a PAX event that was like,
that's
yeah.
it's PAX. You're limited in the number of people that are at
Well, no,
PAX.
I
So
mean, sorry, I mean that must not have been recorded
I don't
unless it was in
remember.
2025, but I don't think so
I don't remember
because
when it was.
the first PAX event.
It was
Okay,
not 2025.
okay. Well,
Yeah, it was definitely
me
one of the earlier
me
ones.
being the archive person,
Yeah.
I the first PAX event I could find footage of was PAX East 2024. I think there was
Oh
one in.
no, there's so uh there I'll talk to you after.
Okay,
I'll talk to you after.
fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will want to discuss some archive things,
Yeah.
but that is not
2020
for
and
here.
2022 were put up later.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
and I think 2020. So PAX East 2020 was the end of February 2020.
So the beginning of the end.
It was literally everyone was talking in like murmurs about COVID at a PAX. I remember that very
Yeah,
clearly.
and then March happened, and it was like, oh,
And
our
then
world
March
has been
happened.
changed forever. Good
Yeah,
times.
I remember at that PAX, there was like people were like, "Did you hear?
Did you hear?
this thing's going around." Like, I think also there was a medical conference the week before at the PAX East Convention Center. Um,
Oh,
and so like there was
oh,
still like just like continuing talk about
God.
COVID at that time, and then people were like, "Oh, this might be serious." Like I remember, like there was like a bunch of, people like talking about it. Obviously, like it sticks out in my mind as the last big event before COVID.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, at that event, I remember there was just so much talks about it. But yeah, we definitely did record it, and I remember. So I remember this very clearly because we showed uh we didn't stream it originally. We recorded everything and then we showed it as like a weekend hotfix broadcast, like
Oh,
a
okay.
couple weeks later, and then everyone it was literally like mid March when it was on. And then everyone was like, "Why is everyone not in mask?" And we had this giant thing that said, "This was pre-recorded from
Mm.
PAX East 2020, and then like people could look up the dates of PAX East 2020 and be like, yes, that already happened. Because I remember like a bunch of people in chat were like, why is everyone like not in mass? It's like is because it was recorded right before in February. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll talk
Twitch
to you
chat
about that
can't
later in
read.
terms of your
You
archiving.
should
But
have been aware of that.
yeah, what was your last event before COVID? Was it
AGDQ
AGDQ that you went
2020.
to?
Yeah.
I actually remember I got sick at that one.
Oh, I got
uh,
sick coming home too. Yeah.
yeah, I
Um,
remember
I've had
that was a
COVID
big
before,
sick
and it
event.
was different than when
Yeah,
I got hit with COVID for the first time. When I got hit with COVID for the first time, I was vaccinated and everything. It hit me like a
yeah,
fucking truck. It was awful.
yeah.
And then I've had it one other time, and it wasn't as bad. But yeah, so whatever I got at AGDQ was not
Yeah, no,
COVID.
that like I definitely think there was some non-COVID sickness going around that AGDQ
Yeah,
because a
that's
lot
just
of
GD.
people
That's
got
just the
sick.
usual GD
Yeah,
flu. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
But no,
but yeah, I remember. Yeah, that happened in January, and then PAX happened. I'm like, what's gonna happen after this? Like, are we ever gonna have events again?
yeah, that was fun. Here's why it was really fun. So at GDQs nowadays, I'm known to be a little bit of a partier. I'll be in hotel
Yeah,
rooms with some, substances that you consume.
yeah.
Um,
That you consume in hotel rooms only, and you stay in
yeah.
your hotel room, obviously.
hmm
Yep.
No, no, like literally.
Yeah.
Maybe go to the lobby, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never brought open alcohol anywhere. Anyway,
Yeah.
beside the point. Um, let's see. So AGDQ 2020 ended on January 12th. My 21st birthday was January
Yeah.
14th,
Oh.
and then COVID happened.
uh, and then COVID happened.
How's
Oh,
that for
jeez.
timing? And I was
And then
not someone
COVID
that
happened.
did
Yeah.
underage drinking, so I was nice
Yeah.
about it. I went to the courtyard, but I did not partake. I was a goody two shoes. I was like, I'll be able to do it next event, and that next
Next
event was
event.
two and a
And
half
then
years
2 years
later,
later. Yeah.
and it still was kind of weird. So yep, that was fun. That's my fun story. Anyway, yeah. Well, now what?
Now events are back. I feel like events are back now in
They
terms of
are.
like attendance though.
Yes. Oh,
Um
yeah, attendance is back to normal for sure.
like these also and with PAXs because like there were a couple years for PAXs where like it was nothing. Like companies were afraid to come back and like
Mm,
there was one PAX where Intel took up like half of the venue.
Jesus Christ.
Like PAX, yeah, PAX was like, especially I think it was like 2022, 2023 when it came back, where like it was even like half attendance still. Like, and PAX is like 50,000 people. Like it looked like a ghost town
Hmm.
in there. But now like devs are coming back, like people are coming back.
Yeah, my first PAX was PAX West 2024, and it definitely that was like the biggest convention I had ever been to, and it was like,
Yeah,
whoa. So that was my first convention, unless you can I don't really count JDQ as a convention.
it's
Yeah,
not really
not in
like
that traditional
numbers
meaning.
wise. Yeah, numbers wise, it's like 2,000 versus 50,000. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
kind of
PAX
just
was like, whoa,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, PAXs are actually like massive events. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely a lot of people at those.
Anyway, here's hoping for PAX West 2026.
Yes,
Keep
good
crossing
luck.
those fingers. Except, well, actually, it's nice because at my job, I wouldn't have work that Monday, so
Labor
that
Day
Labor Day
weekend.
weekend, so that works. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'd miss a day, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. So
That's fine.
I have a nice, easy 30-ish minute submission.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
And then you can enjoy the whole weekend, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Let me in, coach. Anyway, uh, um, well, is that everything?
I think that is
Yeah.
everything, you know? I feel like we talked about a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's been 3 hours.
Right. It's been
But
4 hours for those of you watching. Me and
oh
GTS
yeah,
had a
with the
fun hour
tech.
beforehand. You know.
I think I ranted enough about that beforehand, but
Uh,
okay. I have missed a single frame due to rendering lag, and that's
We're
it.
never getting that back. We're never getting that back.
So, um, if I had streamed at any point before that, you would have missed out on 80% of the frames. So the fact we got it to where it is now is a godsend. But I do need to
Yeah.
still do some work later. But that's for after stream. I think we're done
Yes.
here. I think we've succeeded in talking forever.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being interested. So that
Yeah,
helps.
for everyone, I asked GTA said SGQ when are you gonna have me on, and
And
you
I
had
was
me
like,
on 2 weeks after. So
yeah. I was like, well,
thanks.
yeah, there you go. When people ask, I deliver. It's fine.
Yeah,
Some quicker than
I
others,
got in
but
on a nice round number.
yeah.
180.
Like this one was just meant to be like with all the tech issues, like you
Yeah.
couldn't script it better. So it was truly meant to be. But yeah, I guess well, I know you don't do much traditional speed running anymore. Mainly just, I've been doing tech for GDQ forever. But do you have any plans to do? Well, it can be anything related to the scene, but just any future plans.
I think I stream like once a year on my own channel.
Yeah, me
So
too. When it's not
no.
podcasting, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're not gonna see me on my own stream, and don't watch my stream. Just watch GDQ Hotfix,
Mm,
where you can watch some cool people doing cool runs, talking about the games that they are spending hundreds or thousands of hours in,
hmm.
and you'll see me in chat.
Yeah, and you'll probably be the one doing tech half the time. So
Yes, it is a 50-50 split actually, so literally
yeah,
half the time.
literally, you and Ray holding up the
Yeah,
rounds of all hotfix content, which is a lot
yeah,
of content. So a lot of work, but I will link your personal socials anyway.
yeah,
But watch GDQ even when the main events aren't
yeah.
happening for
Watch
plenty.
GTA's
Ah, well,
twitch.tv/GTA's99.
true. That is this here right now.
Yep, to watch
So,
the archive of podcasts, you can go to youtube.com/@GTA's99/podcasts
true.
also.
They are all archived there, even the ones that I've unlisted for reasons. But they're all.
Yeah,
But I'm an
they're
archive guy,
all
so I make sure
they're
it's
all
still out there
there.
somewhere. But
Yeah. You
yeah,
watch episode 0 and 180. See how
you
see how
see
things
how
have
the times
done a
3.5
180.
years have changed. Oh my god, can't believe it's been that long.
Oh, you can do one of those like you can do one of those progress videos of like I took a picture of myself every week for 3
I took a
years.
like a 2 hour
It's gonna be
video
like a
of me
one
once a
second
week
video.
for 3 years. Yep, that'll get views. Well, anyway, I guess yep, just watch GDQ Hotfix. I can recommend it. It's good content. I'm watching it right now. It's been on my TV this whole time. You guys just can't see it. But yeah, I'm addicted, so it's fine. And watch GDQ. GDQ's cool. I guess that's everything.
Yes.
So,
Take it
we
easy.
can end it here. Thanks for listening to us yap and take care. Bye.